Welcome to today's stream. Hello. I hope you had a nice day so far. Let's play some strike missions. And after that, I really want to play some more push. Because yesterday we actually had the problem that, at least from my client, from my side, we couldn't queue. So I was waiting for 2 hours to actually get into push. And I did get into 2 matches. So today I hope actually that I get way more matches and hopefully also way more entertaining and way more fun as well. Because I really want to keep pushing out different builds, different, just a lot of different content and see which kind of builds are working in push, which kind of strategies maybe even work the best. I just want to have some fun in push because we don't have that a long time, so only 6 more days or so. So I really want to get that and have some fun with it. Welcome everyone, welcome. Hope you had a nice day so far. And yeah, as always, if you have any feedback, any comments, any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to talk to you. Always double, triple checking actually if I'm having the correct trade equipped. That's, I think, the hardest part about Chronomancer, Field Chronomancer in particular, is that you always have to check which kind of trade you want in your party right now. Welcome, Filthy, welcome. How are you doing today? And if actually my plan goes well and we get a lot of interesting matches with a lot of different builds as well, then I want to do the push tier list today as well on stream. So keep an eye out for that. Oh no, you're not doing good? That's not nice. Hopefully my stream can at least cheer you up a bit then. What? Welcome, Alison. Welcome. How are you doing these days? There we go. Got it. Yeah, I think the push game mode is really interesting in that sense, Filthy. You're completely right. I think it's actually surprising how many builds that you typically don't see in Conquest because they might not be good, because they are really weird and not really working for the most part. In push, some kind of builds that you normally wouldn't use because they are somewhat just not perfectly executing in the specific node fighting game mode are working in push surprisingly well. So I think this taboo build that you're talking about is actually very interesting. Oh no, Malison, you're also not doing great. That's not nice. Why is everyone not doing great? Expecting a new PC in an hour or so. Looking forward to that. I mean, at least there's that. Yeah. Hopefully you can play Guild Wars 2 then rather soon than if you want to play that on the new PC, that is, of course. That's why I really hate this when people just run in without ready checking. I think I really hate that. Even when I'm just the support, I can't go in the right weapon. My team is not getting perfect support in the first second. It's really annoying me. Oh no, you're sick. Oh, not good. Everyone is sick apparently. That's not good. Get well soon then. And hopefully you can at least get some entertainment out of my stream anyway. Welcome, Snowdrop. Welcome. Yeah, obviously, that's what you should do. No, that's not what you should do. Never flame. I think flaming doesn't help anyone. I actually had someone recently flame in a strike mission. I think it was on Monday or something. And the opposite was the result, So someone said, please be better with your Chronomancer. Your support is not that good. And they just kept ignoring them and were actually not really improving. And I would say they actually decreased in terms of utility that they put out. So yeah, sometimes it's not helpful if you say something negative. You always have to be constructive and friendly, and then it's probably working, or hopefully. But if you flame, especially in easy content, then I think you don't make yourself any friends. Yeah. Perfect. That's why you're here. Yeah, you will get some amazing content, believe me, especially when I start with the pushing. It will get insane. It will get crazy. Yesterday I had 2 matches that were absolutely crazy. I had insane teammates, and it was really fun. It was really close because of those teammates. So I really hope that we get some crazy close matches and really fun push moments after the strike missions here as well. And I want to try out some crazy cooks. I have prepared some builds that I wanted to try out here, and some of them are really crazy. So hopefully I don't queue up against 5 people teams all the time. So pre-made teams, that would be horrible because obviously those teams will probably win. But if I get always, let's say 10 solo queuing players, then it will be really fun to try out different builds. You like crazy? Exactly. Me too. So let's see, hopefully this time the ready check works. Hopefully. Yeah, push, I think push is like, you really see the insanity of PvP and how it can look like if people are just permanently running in and don't. I think the biggest problem is push has 2 problems in my opinion. It doesn't explain to you how it works in terms of, oh, I made it, nice. In terms of how, so to say, that you have to try to not stagger yourself. So you have to wait for your teammates, because if you run in one by one, that's always a very stupid thing to do, because your enemy team will just kill you over and over then. That's the first part, and no one explains it to you, and people just keep doing that and you will lose. That's the snowball after the first fight. And the second part, I think that's the even worse part, is that they don't explain the anti-heal, anti-bunker mechanic. So that means that you just are not really, I wouldn't say new players, but the people that don't know how this mechanic works with the healing reduction and the damage increase that you get when you stand too long in the node, makes it so that people are really just thinking, oh, I stand in the node, you know, it's capture the flag, so I stand in the node. But that means that the whole team can get wiped by a single Willbender, for example, if they engage with them all having the 10 stacks of the buff up. It's actually crazy. So I think there should be some kind of introduction to that, or some kind of help, so that people actually understand, okay, maybe I should move out of the point if I already have 3 to 5 stacks, because I might actually get one shot after that. And if my whole team has the same buff, then that's not a good thing. Yeah. But let's see how much this happens, and hopefully that also will happen to the enemy team and not only to my team. Because then that's obviously fun if I'm playing DPS, but if my team is always the same, then we have some kind of problem and I might not be able to win a lot. But I hope the fun will be there. That's obviously the most. I think the insanity for you as the viewers is probably more fun than if it's just snowballing or some kind of very easy matches. I agree. People literally ignoring the objective 10 out of 10 times. that sounds like a classical PvP option. People dying, instantly rushing to a beast in Forest of Niflhel, killing the beast, dying, going to the other side of the beast. Yeah, that's very classical PvP. Why do you run Chronomancer with Dagger? Dagger has, first of all, more damage. Yeah, doesn't matter on a healer that much, but it's better. It has range clone generation, and I don't need the block. So for this easy content, having a little bit more damage and having easy clone generation with the 2 skill is better than having a slow attacking, somewhat unnecessary block. Yeah, that's my reason here. It's the more, so to say, optimized weapon for just for someone that knows that the block is not necessary. If you're unsure or a new Chronomancer player, the Scepter is definitely the safer option. But if you know what you're doing, especially in Iceblade Saga Strikes, there is no necessity whatsoever to have a block. I could even drop the shield if I wanted to and go for, I don't know, sword offhand if I want to get some more damage. It's really not necessary. Welcome, Neteo. Welcome. Are Elementalists in a bad spot in the game now? I have not seen them in any in the PvP and in events. I actually would say the opposite. I think Elementalist is one of the better classes to play right now across the whole game, actually. It's not like it's absolute meta in every single spec and stuff, but I feel like in PvE it has decent damage builds. It might not be the absolute best in flexibility, but I think it has decent healing builds and damage builds. And in terms in competitive modes, you can play Catalyst. Catalyst is the absolute GOAT. It's probably the best spec on Elementalist since its release. It's really good. So I think you actually in higher level play, Elementalist is actually quite popular. Yeah. So don't worry, Elementalist is good. Welcome, Francisco. Welcome. Yeah, I really try to not only make content for veterans, but also for new players. And I think I try to mix it up on YouTube to make content ideally for both, of course, but also for let's say one video for new players, one video for veterans and that kind of stuff. And I really try to mix it up because I feel like we need new players, but we also need to keep the veterans in the game. That's a very big, so to say, thing, that agenda of mine. Yeah, I really hope that we don't lose more veterans because that's what the game also needs. You can't have a very big game that doesn't have any veterans. I think that's really important. And I'm not talking only about veterans that just played the game for, let's say, 10 years but don't know a lot about it. We need veterans that actually are really try-harding and really going hard in build crafting and that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, Snowdrop, that sounds like a classical PvP moment. Just people randomly doing stuff and without really knowing what they're actually supposed to do. And just, we had also someone that was just, writing, oh my god, this map is beautiful. And they were somewhat half exploring the map instead of fighting. A classical PvP moment, Yeah, there is an objective. Oh no, let's explore the map. That's just a PvE gone into PvP, I guess. Yeah, happens. No, don't worry. You will get better. You just have to learn. You slowly improve. That's always how it goes. You won't start out as a master. That's just normal. How is the Ranger? I just started, new player, and I'm like level 16 at the moment. I'm going to be mainly playing solo until I find a guild or something. Ranger is one of the best, if not the best solo spec. So you made a very good choice there. Just be aware though that you should not say play Ranger only because it's really good in solo play. If you enjoy the class, then it's perfect. But you should not say, I only play the best class and that's it for me. Always play the class that you actually enjoy the most. Especially as a new player, that's a really important tip. But of course, if you enjoy Ranger, you have great stuff ahead. Untamed is really good. Soul Beast is really good. Druid, maybe not so much in a solo scenario, but Untamed, the king of open world, I would say. Or the queen, whatever you like. Yeah, map exploration bigger than than PvP, that much is for sure. That's why we get with the next patch a new open world and not a new PvP content. That's definitely true, yes. Sometimes there is pain in the ass when we are 5 cm from the base and they push us back. Yeah. I feel you. I think that the new UI is really good. I like it a lot. It makes the game way more clear what is actually happening and who is actually in the lead and who will win when the overtime happens, or when the time is over. I think that's actually really good. But I agree, it can be really frustrating if your team pushes too far ahead and loses then. But I feel like I think that's a really cool comeback moment, because if you have the option to come back at any point because you're closer to the card, so the respawn is closer to the card, and you actually get more likely to outnumber the enemy, that's really nice. I like that. I think it has its con and its pros, that much is for sure. Yeah, Ranger is really good in fractals. At least Soul Beast is really good, yeah. I think Soul Beast is good in every single game mode right now. So Ranger is in a good spot, yeah. Yeah, the bear fractal, oh, don't get me started on that. I think it's cool that they give us some kind of teaser, but the teaser is like, it doesn't say anything, It's like we have some kind of cutscene from the story and that's about it. We don't really get anything. So thanks, Besmoth, for the follow. And also, thanks a lot for the sub. Really appreciate it. But for me personally, I think the new Fractal, I will only judge it when I see gameplay. I can't judge it right now. I hope the story is running in the background and we don't get anything from it. I think we will just have story that is for people that enjoy story, but most of all, I think we should just get really good gameplay, and I hope we get maybe some Ice Brute mobs to slay, then an Ice Brute champion that we have to kill, and then another champion or something, so that we have some classic Fractal experience and not the single boss encounter. I feel like that would be really bad. And I hope the story is just delivered in a way that, like, for example, Nightmare tells you some kind of story in the background, Ark is talking while you fight. I really hope that's the case, and I think I will not judge until I see the gameplay. That's my fair take on that. But currently, I really feel like they should make the trailers a little bit more showing the gameplay and not showing just some random mobs and random bears where we don't even know what fight is going on, what is happening. But I'm happy that they at least give us some kind of hint that this will happen in 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks right now. Finally, ANET shows some consistency by releasing consistently bad fractals. I mean, like I said, I will not judge before it happens, but I always fear if the trailer doesn't show any gameplay, that the gameplay is not that, you know, presentable. That's my fear. It might be, so to say, not true, but I personally still have that in my mind. The psychological thing is still there. Yeah, the bear stance, I think that will be happening at the end. I think we kill the boss and then the bears will start dancing. I think that's the likely thing. I think it's very unrealistic that they start dancing. But let's start with the dancing. But I don't know. We will see. Lonely Tower Part 2? I think that if that would be the case and they bring out Lonely Tower Part 2, I might not play Fractals anymore. I have to be honest. At least not the new one. I will always skip that one. I already do that with Lonely Tower. And I have to be honest, a new Lonely Tower Fractal would be the death blow to my Fractal enthusiasm. For sure. I think Lonely Tower, don't get me wrong, I think Lonely Tower is not completely, it's not a bad content in general. I just think it's not a Fractal. I think it feels very bad in terms of what it delivers to the Fractal itself. I think it should be more like, maybe it's a strike mission or something like that. That's more fitting. But I feel like having this as a Fractal is an insult to the Fractals like 99, 98, and those Fractals that are really, you know, classic 5-person content. And I feel like the Epoch fight is just, it feels not good enough, to be honest. But that's just my personal take, you know, I don't want to offend anyone that actually enjoys it. I'm just saying this is not for me. Yeah. As always, if you're a new player or if you're a veteran, have any questions, please let me know, any feedback. Also, if you think the music or my voice is too loud, also let me know. I don't want to burst your earbuds later when I start pushing and I'm a little bit, you know, a little bit, I don't know, enthusiastic about some teammates. Let's say that. You see the difference of damage. I have almost double the DPS. Yes, it's not much, but it's still for a healer having double the DPS than the other healer. You can clearly see that the dagger is actually working, you know. So I have 5k DPS while the other Chronomancer has 2.5k. So it's not much, but it helps to get your group DPS up. So because someone asked earlier why I use dagger, that helps. Last one, and then we go pushing. Hopefully today it works. It looks actually quite decent because yesterday we had some problems with the queuing system, but now it works apparently, I think. Yesterday, the interesting part is I played push twice yesterday and only one match counted actually. The first match actually did not count to my rating, which is really interesting to say the least, that we can queue up for a ranked without actually getting any rating or any, it was not really a match up for the system apparently. Really interesting. I don't know what happened yesterday. Why they had so many server issues. I don't know. So what do you think about push? Do you think it's a good game mode? Did you try it? Do you not play it at all? What is your opinion on it? Because I want to make a video about my impressions and stuff, but I also want, of course, to know your impressions of the game mode, if you have played it already. I think it's a very chaotic game mode. It's way more chaotic than Conquest, which might be a good thing if you like chaotic stuff. I don't know. I've been enjoying push, but have only had a couple balanced matches in 10 or so. Yeah, I think that's a problem with the matchmaking. It's also not helping that you have up to 5 people in a team that can queue up, so that's obviously not helping that much. If you are just 5 solo queue players against a full pre-made team, then it's obviously not very fun, typically. But I don't know. I feel like it's, for me personally, I think the first 2 matches were actually quite balanced. But that might change a lot. I will see it how it works today. So maybe it's complete garbage when I play it later after this actually. or maybe it works very well and we have just a lot of balanced matches, which is obviously the most fun because then you can actually have some entertaining gameplay and can test out some builds and not only get stomped in one direction or the other. That's definitely not what I like. My third push match ended in 3 minutes. Yeah, I feel like I want to make something really clear here. I personally think it's good if a match is over fast that is one-sided. I really think a one-sided match should be over in minutes, like 3 minutes or something. That's perfect. Even shorter would be even better. I think having a match that takes forever and you see at the, let's say, first 2 fights or something that your team is just worse than the other team, but you can hold it somewhat, that's horrible. I really like it when I see the matches almost surely lost, that my team actually loses within a few minutes so that I can go to the next, you know. I don't want to be toxic or anything. I don't want to surrender. I'm just saying sometimes you can't win because your team is just not good enough. You made some mistakes, whatever. And I feel like it's important that you then go to the next and you're not stuck in there for minutes, for half an hour almost. It's horrible. I don't like that, which is currently happening a lot in Conquest. So the Conquest was like you queue for 5 minutes, then you get a match, and then you wait there for 2 minutes, and then the match takes 10 minutes, even though it's very one-sided for the most part, but it takes still quite long with all the bunker builds around and stuff. And then you are done after 20 minutes with the match and lost it. That's horrible. It's way better. Queue up, get a queue pop in the first 30 seconds, have fun or have not that much fun, but you are done after 3 minutes and go into the next one. I really liked it. Yeah, I mean, PvP rush is obviously quite good, even if you're not a PvP player. Good point there by Mod. Yeah. Queuing S5 is hypercooked overall, it's mad, but then again, I'm a stronghold in China. Yeah, I think if you have a decent team and queuing S5, it can be really fun. But if you're queuing against those 5 players, if you are a single player, single queuer, then it's actually not that fun. That actually it's really unfun. Yeah. Coming from World vs. World, hard to get used to the slower movement and condis feel more aggressive. Yeah, I mean, if from World vs. World, it's obviously a step down from the just how much stuff is happening, and it kind of feels slower because you are just, you know, standing a lot in the same spot and want to defend it, and it's more like you have to execute your attacks way better than just standing in the correct position, which is in World vs. World way more important than in push. In push is like, if you stand next to the node, you will help your team. If you're standing far away, you will not help your team. So overall, push is in that sense way easier, but of course the execution of your mechanics happens way more than if you have a 50 versus 50 fight. I think it's a completely different game mode for that matter, which is okay. You don't want to have everything the same, I guess. Yeah. I do enjoy it being over fast if you're getting stomped. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest plus for me. Yeah, that is most of the time it's very fast. We were against 3 druids, Bellbreaker, Harp, I think, Perma CC, and 1 druid was tanky. Yeah, that's obviously, I feel like this is, if people play it correctly, then you play it at least with 1 or 2 supports, and you play it with 1 or 2 bunkers, and then it feels really bad, because then it's just, it takes forever. Yeah. Why are so many, we have 3 people here and 1, what? I'm already starting to feel that it's actually I'm losing my hope in humanity. I'm not even into push yet. Why are 3 people here? We have 1 DC and someone is just wrong, I guess. Good. Yeah, I think the problem with push is that it's somewhat, if you have a very good enemy team, then they just start bunkering it down and it feels very boring. I think the less the team is actually experienced, the more inexperienced the team is, the more fun you have in push. That sounds really weird, but then you have some crazy kills, you have some crazy, I don't know, just the card gets somewhat pushed to 90% and then suddenly the team loses the matches, the fights all the time, and you actually can come back from that. If you fight against a very good team and you're, I would say, a somewhat good team as well, then it feels like it feels way more stale and way more less fun, in my opinion. Maybe Conquest should give points a lot faster when a team is triple capped. Yeah, I mean, there could be some kind of interesting mechanics. I have to be honest, I think they will never change how Conquest works, just because it's already a very unpopular game mode in the high end, and making changes to it now makes it probably a little bit harder to get into again for the player base that is somewhat already at it. I don't know. I feel like it would be good to change things up and maybe test them out in a beta event before they actually include it in some crazy normal ranked matches. But yeah, I agree. I think sometimes Conquest matches are way too slow. Yeah, 3 druids sounds horrible. I really think that should be forbidden. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel the pain with pushing all the time. Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah. But you will see my pain in just a few minutes. I expect to lose a lot of matches today. I think a lot of people are really abusing the bunkery stuff, and that you will see my pain in my face as well. So don't worry, Filthy. I hope that cheers you up, you know. Maybe have some fun chaotic matches as well. I mean, yesterday was really fun. I had a Willbender match where I didn't die once, even though my team died like, I don't know, all the time. I just was running away a lot of times, and I had 1 million damage at the end of the match. It wasn't like I was playing that well. It was just my teammates were complete garbage, and the enemy teammates were also complete garbage. It was like really fun to see that you actually could deal a lot of damage if you actually have a decent just setup. It was really fun. Please swear in German. Maybe. Depends on the situation. I don't want to use it without any context. But if it's really a bad situation, maybe I will do it just for you then. Will be fun to hear if there's any German in the chat that actually understands what I'm saying. Because some of the swearing I can do is actually not very understandable. So we're almost done. Maybe today is the infusion day? Probably not. It doesn't matter what you say if you swear in German. I guess that makes sense, yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I'm typically not someone that swears a lot. I mean, that you should probably have noticed by now that I'm a more chill person. I try to be relaxed and think about my mistakes that I did instead of just being aggressive. But sometimes you just have to let it out. Let's see if that will happen today in push. We will do it at least for 1.5 to 2 hours. So there will be a lot of matches, I guess. Yes, I'm a German, Dr. Wettler. Yes, that's correct. I will also, if I get some nice gameplay going and I actually get some opinion on it, I will also do a tier list with you later. If you have some interest in doing that push tier list, what kind of builds are actually working there. Will be fun as well. But of course I have to test it out first. So, let's go. Push it is. So what do we queue up first? I guess let's go for Support Warrior. Support Warrior first. Let's quickly adjust the title. There we go. So let's see what we get. I don't expect anything. It's Push definitely seems to reward good play. In a few of my games, the other team had 1-2 talented Catalyst, Spellbreaker, Willbenders kind of players that jump in, kill 2-3 and jump out. Yeah, I think Push, I would actually say the opposite is true. Not the opposite in the sense that you actually say something wrong. I'm just saying I think if you have bad players in the team, they carry very hard in the negative way. Yeah. I think the very good players, of course, can carry, but I think it's way harder for a good player to carry if there is a really, really bad enemy ally player in your team. So if you have one teammate that's standing on point 24/7 they will die in seconds because they get the debuff and they will get so much damage and so less healing that they will die to it. So I think a very bad player carries way more in the negative way than a very good player carries in a positive way. I hope that makes sense. But maybe I just haven't seen someone that is really good in the enemy team. Let's see what we can make work. Maybe I can carry somewhat. I wouldn't say that I'm the best push player, but I'm probably not that bad either. And I will try out different builds, so maybe we can see what the current meta looks like. No, I don't plan on doing any German videos because I think the German community is just too small to make actually videos only for them. But if you have some... Nice, there's the match. If you have some ideas what I can do as a German video, let me know. I'm always open for it. Yeah, yeah, it's hard to recover. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So if you see, that's what I did yesterday when I played Willbender. It was always like if I saw 3 people that had decently high stacks of the debuff and I'm a Willbender, I engage. You know, I don't care how my cooldowns are looking, I engage. Because if I have somewhat of a DPS, then I don't care if I have only 25% of my HP, because I might kill them just one-shotting them because of all the debuffs. Yeah, you see we have a Scourge. I wanted to try out some Scourge, but Scourge is just, you can't make it work. I think I'm not happy if we have a Thief. That's already quite good. So, I don't know. Let's see. We have somewhat tanky team. We have a Willbender. Yeah. Let's try how it works. Yeah. Yeah, so you get a damage debuff, or you get a, I wouldn't say, you get a debuff when you stand on the node, and if you stand on there longer, it stacks up and you get higher amounts of this debuff. The debuff itself has 2 things that are working for you, or against you actually. One part is you receive less healing from your allies, from yourself, you receive less healing, so you can't bunker it very easily. And the second part is you take more damage. And both of them together means that you die faster, obviously. And if you have a lot of those stacks, you die very, very fast. Yeah. Why I don't produce German videos in German? Well, that's at least a 5-head move, yeah. Yeah, that would be an interesting one, because if it gets a lot of views, then I actually proved myself wrong. maybe you're right. Good one. Thief is so good in push, it kills fast as long as you guys know how to give him the kills. I think it depends. I think most of the Thief players actually don't know how to play it. But I would agree, I think it's actually better than people give it credit for. But I feel like a lot of Thieves, especially if you play some kind of crazy Thief builds, they just don't know how to make it work. That's the problem. That's why I really think I would rather have someone that plays a Willbender, even though they don't really play it very well. They are probably more likely to play it decently well than a Thief. So... Oh my god, my teammate is already dead here. That's the... I have to play that really, really carefully here. Thanks, Dr. Wettler, for the follow. Really appreciate it. Leon. Come on, guys. I got the emote. I mean, it's why is the enemy team at already 58%? What? Did I miss something? Interesting. Got 28 kills at best. I mean, it depends obviously also on your teammates. If you the kills, you know, kills are not always everything. If you get the kills at the right moment, you might win the match way more. Okay. I don't actually know why it's actually saying that we are losing the match. I don't get it. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I can't get the resses here. I really have to help them, but I feel like they are greeting too much on point. I think my Willbender is actually dead for 2 minutes and now get the self-res. I can't get the banner here. I think I just have to survive now. Can I do that? No. Now they let me bleed. I mean, I guess I die very fast here. That's good, but my team lost the fight now because of that. That's should have disengaged earlier. How many people must stay in the zone? 1 is enough. Yeah. What supports would you recommend for someone new to support in PvP? I think actually the only thing that I would say that you shouldn't do is Firebrand, but you can go Core Guardian, you can go Core Warrior or Spellbreaker as support, you can go Tempest as support, you can go Chronomancer as support. There are a lot of options actually. Can I get this one? Yep. They are all standing on the node. I would love to play a Willbender here, have to be honest. They are all standing on the node. It's amazing how much damage we can deal here. Give some quickness. Oh no, don't get it. Give some stability. Sanctuary attack is actually quite nice. So now I have 5 stacks. I have to go out. Help my teammates here. Can't help them. Yeah, if I would play DPS here, it would be way better, I have to be honest. They are pushing too much. We can't contest that if... I have to go for the rest here, but I feel like it's looks bad. Yeah, the Thief carried them. That's the sad part. I think Spectre is quite good here. It just take one target and always go on that one and then... Yeah, my teammates are really all over the place. I can't support any of them. That's really bad. That's the supports in a nutshell. Sometimes you just... didn't play that very well, but my teammates just didn't let me play it well enough. If I don't hold it here, we lose. Yeah, okay, it's over. Yeah, the thief is carrying them, and my allies were completely, they didn't let me support anyone because they were like in 4 places, and I need to help them, but I can't go to 4 places all at once. So that was not a good showcase for a support warrior. That much is for sure. But it was also because the thief in the enemy team was really nice picking up my allies very well, just snitching a single one out, like for example, Vindicator just going on this target all the time, and the Vindicator was completely off point. That's I either had to help this guy or they died in a 1-on-1 against the Spectre, and then we would be outnumbered and lose the fight after that. So it really makes a really hard decision for me where to go, and that's exactly what you want as a thief. You don't want to be in a 5 versus 5 as a Spectre. Yeah, exactly. If you have a good thief with or against you, we actually notice it quite fast. So what do we have here? No thieves for now. So we have I don't know what kind. I wanted to play some kind of support. Maybe I play some Firebrand here. Do they have some support? Willbender, Chronomancer maybe? I think I will try some Firebrand. Firebrand is a really good support, but it's a really hard support. It's by far the hardest support to play. And I feel like in push it's actually a very decent pick. Let's see if I can make it work. What kind of... These are the traits. I think that makes sense. Yeah, let's see how it works. I don't go for the healing, the resurrection signet. Because the resurrection signet, I feel like it's a bait in push for Guardian. Because it has a long cooldown. And this will only happen in a bad match like once or twice at most. And I feel like I'm not sure if that's worth it. Sometimes it can be, but if the enemy team is too smart and kills the enemy too fast, I want to try this one out. I think I will just try to heal them and get a lot of healing out of them. Yeah, I mean, see you, have fun with your new PC, Malison. And get well soon. Okay, so Willbender. Firebrand, and they have a Willbender. That's a problem because I'm a really good target for the Willbender. Hopefully they don't know that. Okay, so far so good. Just pushing some stuff on node. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this guy died instantly. That's obviously not good. That's why you don't... They are all standing on node again. They are all standing on node again. Try to get some cleave going. Now they got the res anyway. Nice, we got the 1-2. Yeah, 2 kills. Very good. We have to just be careful to help our ally here. Nice, we got the res. Try to not stay on point at all. Nice, we got the interrupt. Very good, very good. Firebrand at its best. Very good. Nice. That was quite nice. I would say good showcase why Firebrand can be a really good support. I have to go here and maybe get some interrupts going. Nice. CC chaining. Nice. Sadly no one got on this guy. You have to be a little bit careful here. Because the Willbender is on 2 of our allies. Okay. That's interesting. No one of the enemy team is going to our node. It's good. That's what we like to see. No one here. Yeah, it's definitely... I will try to help them a bit. Make some damage on point, but that's not good. We have to get this res here. Nice, we got it. But the rally. Clean, clean, clean. Nice, I think the enemy team actually gave up. I think they are not playing at 4 anymore. At 5 rather. Nice. Yeah, I think they did actually give up, or at least not all of them continued playing. I think Firebrand was definitely more impactful, but it's always hard to judge from 2 matches if it was more impactful than the last one. Or the corruption, actually. Corruption, well. They actually got the kill here. I did not expect to lose someone in a 1v2, but okay. Should have known that my teammates are standing on node forever, S2. Nice, we got the rest, but that costed a lot of my cooldowns. I'm not sure if that was the smartest choice here. Okay, I have to really be careful because we now are actually having a DC. That's obviously not good. Hopefully they come back because otherwise we will lose this match for sure. My teammates are not good enough to actually win outnumbered. I mean, I guess maybe it's an outnumbered anyway, because my team is also, you know, outnumbering them because I feel like one of them is also not playing. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Firebrand healing, you can see the burst healing is not as high as in other builds. Oh my gosh. I think I maybe can get the rest here. Oh, that was... Now I die for that. I'm not sure if that was the smart choice. Now we lose the fight because of that. Maybe I should not have gone for the rest. I mean, we got the rest, but I died for it. That's not... I think that's not good. Let's hope you're right, Poke. That would be good, but I feel like the DC actually completely costed off the game if we don't get the reset. This and armor I get from the vault doesn't have Harrier stats. Why? It should. It should. Why doesn't it? Maybe, do you have all the expansions? Because the thing is, you need the expansions for some of them. Yeah. Okay, we got a kill here. Interrupt the banner. No, we got some... That was good. We got some poison on the enemy, so it was actually not mattering anyway. To support our Reaper. Okay, we got a kill. Maybe we get this kill as well. Every push match that you played today, Sochi, is a 4v5. I mean, that sounds really bad. I don't like that. But I hope that's not always the case, especially now, because now it's prime time. If we now don't get it, fair matches, I think then it's actually... I don't know, it seems like we will never get it. So where are my teammates? They are all dead almost. Okay, we get some heals here. Hopefully that's enough for sustaining them a bit. But they are again standing as 3 people in the node. Please, move out. Only one is enough. Some CC going. Get some burst damage. Nice. Nice. Oh, they all got hit by this thing. Come on, someone has to help me here. Nice. Oh my god. What is my teammates doing? What are they doing? I don't get it. Firebrand is so good in this mode. It's actually insane. I can do so much. It's actually crazy. Look at this. 600k healing and almost 200k damage. It's actually a really good build. I don't know what my teammates are actually doing. I really don't know. Doesn't matter. We won, I think. Just be careful here. The last few minutes is the last few meters or centimeters even. It's very dangerous. We get some. Oh, this was an insane. I have to be honest. This was an insane breach. Yeah, that's what I meant. We lose from this. At least they will get a really big repush because we greeted so much. Oh, that feels bad. The 5th person of my team just never connects. That sounds bad. Really bad. Maybe they have still some connection issues. We have to regroup now. We have to be really careful. Hopefully we get at least one of our guys gets out without dying. Oh, nah, it doesn't seem likely. I have to support the Revenant though. I mean, if I can hold them a bit, then it's obviously good because we are in a 2v2. No, I have to go back to my teammates. Yeah, this guy dies way too fast. Always on node. We have to, someone has to engage that he's damaged. That's the important part here. Nice, I think we got him now. Very good. I mean, we could have lost it, but now I think we are quite fine. I mean, there will be one more fight, but they have bleeding enemies, so... Interesting. I mean, push is really... I like it a lot. The last few matches were actually quite nice. But this could have gone really badly if the DC was longer. Nice. They have a lot of stability. That's a little bit annoying, but good enough. Almost 700k healing now. Yeah, obviously I can use my stability. We did it. I mean, that was a lot. 31 kills? What? What is this? 31 kills? Yeah, it's really fun. I like that we get the Q pops really fast. We get the matches quite nice matches, I would say, quite somewhat close to some extent. And I would say so far so good, but I think that might change if we get, let's say, 5 people against me that are actually in a pre-made team, because then we will get stomped and it will not be fun. And if I continue queuing against them, then it might be really bad. But hopefully we get only solo queue players. Yeah, GG. Well played. I mean, I think you did not... You were actually decent, definitely. I think the problem was we had our DH was actually not doing a very good job. They died always a lot on point. So what do we have here? We have a Daredevil. So let's see, Pokey, if you are right here, if this is a decent thief or not. We will see. Is this support? Might be. Yeah, Revenants were really good. Our one Revenant the one that the seed was really good. That's true. Oh, should I play support here or should I swap to something else? They might not have any support. So let's see what we can. I wanted to play some of aggressive plays. I wanted to just every match another build. Every match another build. So let's see what we can do with this one here. Yeah, might be a little bit harder to play this one, but let's see. The thief, I'm scared. I'm really scared of a Daredevil. I have to be honest. if the Daredevil doesn't know how to play Thief, we lose instantly. That's just sad, because Thief really, you have to know to position correctly. Welcome, C4, welcome. Because if the Thief is not good and can pick someone off, we will have a 4 versus 5 the whole match, and that's obviously not something you want. Welcome, Frosty, welcome. Okay, so let's see if we can make that work. Oh, this is a lot of clusterfuck already. Oh my gosh, please get the kill. No, I get bannered. Okay, never mind. They misplaced the banner, but still I can't rally from that. Yeah, that was... I really... The CC chain there and the Condis killed me there. Sad. The tier list will be about push. Yeah. Oh my god, there are so many... I should have played Willbender. Holy shit, that would have been such a fun match as Willbender. They're all dead. They're all dead. And they will now rally. So sad. Can I get this? This is a game mode that is currently in beta testing. So yes, it's a new game mode in that sense. Oh, come on, it's a new game mode that was released once before. So it was already one time in there. How is my team actually dying under 1v3? What? It was a nice pull, I have to be honest. Now all of them are dead. Yeah, the Thief is actually not... I think I should not rest the Thief actually, because the Thief is not doing a lot. That's already probably a little bit too friendly. But okay, we got the kills now. We should be good here for the most part. Okay. I just want to stall them as long as I can because I'm quite tanky on this build. Oh my god, how is my team dying instantly on point even though we are... I don't get it. Yeah, that doesn't feel good. Maybe we get the kill here, but I feel like... Maybe? Yes, we get it. Nice, we got another kill. I'm surprised that we sometimes get a lot of kills here. So I played, I think since you were out, I think I played 2 matches. One of them I won, one of them I lost. So let's see how this one goes. This is really close. We have a really bad Thief in our team. So hopefully the Thief is actually not too bad so that we can't win. I have to get out of this node. There are already 2 people in there. How's power hold? It's actually very good, I would say. Oh, come on. I think it might not be the best build, but I feel like it's actually one of the better ones for sure. Maybe A tier, I would say, something like this. We will do a tier list after this. Let's say a few more push matches, and then we will do a tier list about push. I just want to get some things going and see how it actually performs. Yeah. This is like a full stomp. This match is sadly, I think that this is not really... I don't play that well either, but my teammates are, I think, even worse. I mean, what can you do? Sometimes you win, sometimes the enemy team wins. That's how it goes. Yeah, I mean, no, I wouldn't say that Thief is just in general bad, but this player doesn't make it look very good. That much is for sure. They have a lot of Condi stuff that's really annoying, I have to be honest. Battle standard randomly on the node? Okay, I guess. I really have to, I mean... I can't contest it all the time, that's the problem. My teammate is just dying on point, the Thief instantly ported on point. Phew. I mean, it's not lost yet, but it looks quite dire. I mean, we got 3 kills here, 4 kills. We wiped them completely. I guess that's good, but we are also in front of our spawn. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think Deadeye can be really good here with the rival and snipe them down. I think you play the same as a Spectre. I think Spectre is just a Condi variant of a Deadeye in that sense, in that game mode. You want to snipe someone down. Bunker Scrapper, yeah. My god, that's so much CC and Condi, and my teammates instantly die to it. It's sure. I don't know. It's the CC chaining on those guys. It's actually insane. Yeah, I can't rally from that. I will die before. I think it's over. Sad. Yeah, I think I have to be honest. I feel like my teammates are not really knowing how to play push, but I think I also played not very well on this round especially. I think I really have to improve at Revenant. I think Revenant is not my best class yet. I mean, we did get the thing, but nice, we got the cleave. At least there's that. Come on. They are all standing in the node. It's really, I can't help them if they stand there. They die instantly because of that. Ooh. Yeah, of course, it's like kill everyone and you will be fine. Just the most important part about push is don't stand in the node if an ally is already standing there. It's really that easy. Then you will win if you do that consistently. Kill this guy, please. He's completely out of anything. Maybe we get the rest here, but I feel like it's... That was a very nice pull. I killed 2 people with that. I mean, maybe it's not lost. We still have 5 minutes actually, but my team is obviously, if it goes to timer, we are done. That much is for sure. They have so much Condi stuff. The random evade, nice. Okay, there's... Please don't stand there as 2, please. Okay, okay. Focus, focus. We can do that. Nice, we got a kill from this. I don't know what the enemy team is doing, but we got a kill. Very good. Transfer Condi, please. Please, please, please. Nice. Now we go for the heal. Welcome, Roaming Spirit. Welcome, welcome. Maybe I have to try your longbow, longbow, how is it called? Longbow Willbender after this match. I want to try out different builds with every match. So far it actually went quite decent. Nice. Maybe that's the comeback. Maybe that's the comeback here. The map is so good, but I hate it. Even as Tempest, I don't have enough cleanses for the stupid Condi spam. Yeah, I think a lot of people are playing Condi. I don't know what's currently happening, why everyone is playing Condi. But yeah, I think Tempest is not the best support. I think you should play maybe some Warrior that actually has a lot of cleanses with shouts or something. Firebrand is insane as well. I think that's the best support for me, if you can play it. Ooh, that's a lot of Condis. Nice, we got the rally from that. We get the kill here on this guy. Is that this comeback? Yes, looks good. Stagger them. Stagger the kills, please. Stagger the kills. Yeah, they keep ticking. You know, that's what people said in my balance discussion about having, so to say, Condi builds and power builds in PvE. Why some bosses are considered to be Condi bosses, even though it's not true in my opinion. Some people said, oh my, the Condis are ticking, so they are more damage if the boss is going away. No, they are not. So, get the CC here. Okay, there. Yeah, I think the Condi spam is actually crazy, I agree. You really have to make builds that are working with a lot of Condi cleanses, otherwise you will not be happy. Get the rest, get the rest, get the rest. Oh my gosh. Nice, we got the rest. Oh my gosh, I have to disengage. Nice, we got the counter kill here. That's why you have to be careful. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Oh, did you see that? This guy was at 10% or something and I got stomped. Oh my god. If we lose now, I am so sad. Do you hear you? They sadly don't hear me. I think that would be a very good thing if they could hear me. Oh my god. Yeah, I think maybe I have to come up with some crazy Condi mech, but I feel like I don't like mech. I really don't like mech. I didn't like it in PvE when it's really good, and I really don't like it in competitive modes. I mean, I killed 2 people here. Please, someone help me. I really don't know what to swear. I'm not someone that swears. Please, someone, please. Oh, I killed 2 people and they will rally. Oh. What is this? Insanity. Yeah, I think the problem is a lot of people play bunker builds, so you want to have builds that are just not bursty, that just deal consistent damage. And I feel like the Power Mirage got nerfed a bit, the Greatsword. So maybe you can make it work in some builds, in some setups. But a lot of times I think it's it. CC chaining? Killing? Yes. Instant into banner? That's okay. Get some kills after that. Did we win? We actually won. It's insane. How did we win this match? I mean, look at this. 38 kills, 50% team healing. What the fuck was my team doing? What? Losing your mind speedrun? Any percent push edition? Yeah, I mean, it's so intense. Holy shit, what was that match? Did you see that? What? I think if it's exactly the same, then you have overtime and it stops as soon as someone reaches a higher. So if as soon as it moves in one direction. So if it's 91 and everyone has 91, then it moves in the. If you get it to move once in one direction, this team wins. That's how it was last time. Maybe Scourge is good. I think actually I was thinking about it, but I think the problem for me with Scourge is that it doesn't have enough life force generation. I feel like that's for me the problem, you know? Maybe we can cook up a Scourge build after this match. So, what do we play here? I guess either support Firebrand or either Willbender. I'm one of those two. Maybe. I don't know. If we have a support... Oh, we don't have a support. Maybe I have to play Firebrand then. Le gameplay? Yeah, Leclerc is here. We get some LA gameplay? Yes, we can do that after that as well. So my two things on the list now are Elementalist, and I want to maybe cook up some crazy Scourge build. Yeah. Yeah, we had a Firebrand match earlier, and it was insane. I carried really hard just by having a lot of cleanses. I think that's really underrated. You have a lot of cleanses. Firebrand is really, really good with that. So... yeah, I mean, if that's a one-shot Berserker with Greatsword, that can be scary because my teammates might die to that instantly. But let's see. Yeah, but I think Druid is really... I think there are a lot of builds that are actually really, really good right now that you normally don't see in competitive Conquest mode and stuff. It's actually crazy, yeah. Sadly, we don't get an instant reward track potions on the pip chat this time. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for the follow, Chichi. Really appreciate it. So let's see. We play it safe. We stay out of the damage and we just heal from range until my teammates are really needing it, because I feel like it's getting some CC down. Oh, come on. It's okay. Get some cleanses. Oh my god. My teammate is instantly dying. Can I get the rest here? No, I don't think so. Close. I mean, we could have gotten the rest if someone else win. Thanks for the prime. Really appreciate it, Neth. Really, really nice. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, I think this is looking bad. This is looking really bad. Contest a bit. Get some resustain go. Oh my god, I'm dead. It's a rival Berserker, just like I expected. That's... Oh my god, that will be heavy. Yeah, Power Untamed might be fun. I think it's actually crazy. Yeah, glad you enjoy, Evolutionsbremse. That's a good swear word. I mean, it's a little bit long, I have to be honest. Maybe we get the kill here. Maybe kill time. Put that down here. Get the rest. Nice, we got the cleave. I saw that people were downstat, so I committed fully for the rest here. Some resistance. Some CC. Some might. Maybe. Nice. Okay, we could come back, maybe, come back. Yeah, rival berserker. I think the rival buffs are actually helping. I think rival buffs is, if you stand at range, they actually deal a lot of damage. Don't underestimate it, but I feel like it's still a meme. But I think if you play Greatsword with an unblockable signet and stuff, like Lone Cap is, maybe sometimes you surprise people with that. Okay, so we want to get some CC and some... Oh my god, how are you dead there? What? I'm really, you know, Evolutionsbremse. Yeah. How did this guy die there? Let me alone. Firebrand is quite nice at sustaining if they don't have a lot of burst, but nice, we got the rest. That was not very good, but at least my team got something done. We can't go to timer. I mean, the rival berserker with Greatsword is now dying on point. Thanks for that explanation. Oh, that's gonna be a tough match, I have to be honest. Giving some cleanse here. Oh, the Vel spam on Necromancer is actually insane, I have to be honest. How much insane corrupts they all the time have. Some... Oh. I can't get the rest here. We did get the kill on the warrior, but I'm not sure if that's enough. Oh, I can't stand here. Oh, that's... Yeah, we die here now. Maybe we can get the rest here. Nice. It feels so bad. The Necromancer is always on me. That's the annoying part here. Yeah, now I'm dead and we lose. That's sad. I mean, could have won that if we played better, but unlucky. My Reaper feels like the only thing I can play successfully in push. Yeah, I think Reaper is... I want to play Elementalist next. That's what people asked for in chat. But we also wanted to cook a Scorch build and we wanted to play a Condi Reaper. Those we are on the list. Yeah. They should keep adding new PvP modes. It's fun and the queues have been a lot shorter. I agree. I think having more just people engaging in the stuff is actually... It's really fun. I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean 63% healing. I don't know what my team actually did. But okay. So next up we have Elementalist, if it's possible, or Condi Necro. Those two are the things that I want to do. Condi Reaper will be the next ult I roll, I think. Very different than my other characters I usually play though. Wilbender, DH Herald. Yeah, I agree. I think Condi Reaper it's been a staple of Guild Wars 2's PvP for, at this point, years. It's actually, you play it, it's playing somewhat similar all the time, and it's always decent. Sometimes it's meta, sometimes it's not, but it's always a decent build, and it's very fun in my opinion because you're just the consistent DPS. You're not bursting, but you're the consistent DPS. Fun fact, I had on Condimec almost 80% healing with a Fiber and Staff Tempest in my team. What the fuck were they doing? That's impossible. If you play Condimec decently, that should not. If you have some kind of support with you, that should not be the case. You know, if I play support, I get over 500k. You will not beat that on a DPS build. It's impossible. I mean, there are also builds like Tempest and Firebrand. Yeah. I don't know. Even with 400k healing, it's. I mean, maybe they were not playing support, but I don't know. Staff Tempest is you should play support. If you play DPS Staff Tempest, I mean, that's not good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that Gunzerker was actually not that impactful. I feel. I really feared that it was actually one-shotting my allies, but it was not the case for the most part. Yeah. Can't seem to find a build I want to play. I mean, I showcase a lot of builds here, so maybe you have something that actually and you think is worthwhile to actually try out. Staff Weaver? Maybe, but I feel like as soon as you have a Thief or something that actually jumps on you, you will be dead the whole match. So I think if you have matches where the enemy team is standing on point the whole time, then Staff Weaver is god tier, but I feel like it's rarely the case. Yeah. I'm heating up? Yes. Exactly. Okay, so we wanted to play some Tempest. Let's play some Tempest, I guess. Thieves are rare, that's true, but I feel like I get a lot of thieves in my team and they are always really bad. That's the problem. I don't get good thieves in my team. So what do we have? I'm playing support here. The enemy team doesn't have any support apparently. That's interesting. Let's see how that goes. Is this also support? Probably. Yeah, 2 support setup versus no support. Let's see. We will try. It's the meta after all. 2 supports, 2 bunker, and 1 somewhat DPS build. Yeah. No, it's true. I agree. A good Daredevil is really good, or good in general. A good Thief is really good and can actually help in push. But I feel like a lot of people are just really bad. They just queue up as a Thief because they play Thief in PvE. They will not carry the match at all. They will carry it negative. Yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem. I had a game, 5 DPS versus 2 DPS and 3 support, and was just unplayable as DPS. Yeah, I feel like if you want to win, you want to play as double support or something like that, and that's actually really hard to actually kill them. Welcome, Arthur, welcome. Good morning to you. I think Spectre I had a Spectre in the enemy team that carried really hard. I think a Condi Spectre that has some kind of support variant, maybe going Carrion, maybe Sage, depending on the setup, then it's actually a very good pick that also can support. I think that's probably if you're very good at the game and you fight against very good players as well, then Spectre might be the best option. Yeah. So nice, we get some CC here. Okay, they have the delayed start tactic. Okay, I like it. Interesting. Oh my gosh. The Thief is... This is annoying me. 2 DPS on me, I can't help them. My team is completely running away with the card though. Maybe. You just have passive heals when doing Shadow Step, this insane high DPS. High supporting? Yeah, I guess, maybe. My team is almost at their spawn. What? Okay, I have to rush. Get to them. But I feel like I'm a little bit too late. I'm still waiting for my 3-person cliff. Maybe that's the time actually. I had a 2.5 person cliff a while ago. That was really nice because I would actually have a third person in the cliff with the earth cliff, but it was the thief that actually was porting out. That's the sad part here. Oh, come on. Okay, some cleanses on point, but I feel like my cleanses are not really doing enough. Maybe I get the heal here. Nice. Get the Leclerc, please. Oh, the reveal was nasty. I mean, that was a stomp. That was the first stomp that I actually got in this whole thing. Okay. Nice. Top 3 DPS on Unload Deadeye. That's what we want to hear. So maybe you can help me find a build. I want high skill cap, preferably tanky like Sword Shield or Sword. Or really any dual wield. I don't need to do insane damage, just want to be a Juggernaut. Maybe you want to play some kind of Power Herald with Spear. Or Power Herald Sword. But it's a little bit more DPS-less, I would say. Just for push or for in general for PvP? Because in general for PvP, I would say Power Harbinger is a really good one. Maybe I think Condi Herald is a good variant. Yeah, I agree with Roaming Spirit. I think Condi Herald might be a good pick. So let's talk about how we would make Scourge viable. So Roaming Spirit said Spirit, we can actually make the Necromancer or Scourge actually quite well. So how do we do it? So I feel like we have to go with obviously Scourge cooking, yes. We have to go, in my opinion, with Soul Reaping to get some Life Force generation. I don't know how else we would do it. Maybe we need to go for Blood Magic because that's a lot of healing that we get here. This is amazing in 5 versus 5. We want to get the Condi Cleanse. Maybe we need to feature... that's obviously really broken. That's actually in most scenarios, that's actually almost 1000 barrier per second. I don't know. This seems so bad in PvP. I don't know. Maybe the DPS variant, Demonic Lore. But I feel like we need a lot of Life Force, and I feel like we don't get enough Life Force for the most part. That's the sad part. I don't know where we get the Life Force from. I really don't know where we get it from. Maybe we have Spectral Armor for some protection uptime. I think Spectral Walk is set. It's true, from the kills you get a lot of Life Force, but we can try without the... because I feel like the Soul Reaping gives you Life Force, but that's about it. Everything else is completely dogshit. It's really bad. And I feel like maybe we go for Curses for some nice Corrupt action. And we play a really aggressive Condi Scourge, maybe, you know, with Scepter in the offhand. I feel like that could be worthwhile choice. Maybe something like that. So we can actually, when I talk about I will do a tier list in a bit, and we can actually, I will give you specifically, if you are still there, specifically tell you what actually works in that regard, what you want to play, some bunker builds or some tanky builds that are still somewhat mediocre at the damage. I mean, you could play Fireweaver, that's also sword, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe Death Magic, but I feel like would you drop Curses for that and go full bunker mode, or would you drop Blood Magic and would say, okay, I don't want the healing here, the passive healing for my allies? Because I feel like I could go like this, but I feel like I don't know. Yeah, if you dropped curses, we can try it like that and just queue up and see how it goes. But what would you take then? You know, what would be the thing? I think I would go for a pistol then. And probably torch for some life force. Torch gives a lot of life force. But I think this is set. This is set. This is also set. What utility skills would we take? I feel like this is really good. I think Plague Signet. Thanks, Sochi. Really appreciated the gifted sub. Really, really nice. Thanks a lot. I hope it's not only because I give you some special advice, because I want to give you advice. That's what I'm here for. So thanks a lot. So I think Plague Signet is really good in a Condi meta. Just sending Condi spec is insane in my opinion on the 20-second cooldown. It's really good in my opinion on push. Spectral Armor is, I think, could have helped me with the life force. For the healing skill, I don't know, maybe Sand Flare, but I feel like the cooldown is so long. It's actually insane. Nice. Thanks for the support then. That's really nice. I don't know. I feel like maybe the Well of Blood, but it's also 30 seconds on a healing skill. That feels so bad. I really don't know what to take here. They are all, I think, quite bad. Maybe this one, I don't know. Maybe like this. Get some barrier up. I have to try it, but I feel like it feels weak. It feels weak. I feel like I don't have any damage. Maybe Spectral Walk is not good enough. 6 shots. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the prime. Thanks for all the quality Guild Wars 2 content. And builds, man. Yeah, glad you like it. Thanks a lot for the support. Desiccate? Yeah, I mean, we could go for Desiccate. I was thinking about it. Desiccate has a short cooldown. Has life force generation and gives boons. We can go for it. I think instead of, actually, I would drop Spectral Walk, actually. It's not typical, but I would drop it, actually, because I feel like you're either in or out. I think a Necromancer can't run away. That's not in push. You don't have enough kite room. So I think Spectral Walk is too weak for that. Yeah, I feel like I agree. I think actually Desiccate is surprisingly good with the 16-second cooldown. But let's see. I mean, I will not judge before I play it, because I really fear that I don't have enough life force and I'm completely useless. You know, I can't spam my skills here. But if there are like 50 kills in a match, then I get a lot of life force. So maybe it works. We will see. I feel like this is my best skill. It has a 70-second cooldown. If I hit it, it actually carries hard. But if the enemy team walks out of it and stuff, then it's not that good. I really want to try Relic of Norris though. I feel like this is insane on a build like this, where you have a lot of corrupts, because you actually proc it consistently all the time. So I feel like that can be really crazy good. But I don't know. We will see. I don't have that many corrupts. I have like a few. This is not corrupting. Yeah, maybe it's not that good on this build. I think the Scepter one is better. What else would I take? Is the Relic of the Scourge. What does that one do? Can increase condition duration. Okay, that's not that nice either. We will see. By the way, if you have any questions, if you're a new player, veteran, whatsoever, it doesn't matter. Let me know. I'm always happy if I can answer you. If I can debate some stuff, please let me know. I'm always happy. If you have some feedback, some criticism, whatever, let me know. And I want to debate it then, or at least give you some answer to that. And after this match, we will play some more Condi Reaper or some Willbender, and then we go do the tier list, okay? So 1 or 2 more matches after this one. And then we do the tier list. Because I really want to get the tier list done. Rival Warrior still troll. I would say it's a troll that is decent. It might seem weird, but I think it's a meme build that works against not that crazy good players. I think then it works actually surprisingly well, because you actually have crazy good DPS over long term, because you'll take steal damage. You just have to be careful. If you have a lot of supports in the enemy team, then you will be bad. But if they are quite squishy and always stay on point, and you can free cast on them, you feel like a Deadeye. Warrior Deadeye, so to say. But I would still say it is not the best build. It's definitely a build that is, I don't know. Fear of Death. Yeah, the thing is, the Roaming Spirit has the idea with the Reaper's Mark and Fear of Death. But the problem is with Fear of Death, I feel like you really commit a lot to the fears, And yes, I think it might work with, for example, if you go for Warhorn offhand. But I feel like often you just get not enough value from it if you just have fears on a single target, like on a 30-second cooldown. And maybe you can make it work. I will try this one for now, and then we can try it later again as well. So, I mean, I instantly have almost the highest amount of stacks from this one. That's actually really nice. That was an interesting ult. Didn't hit any people. So I will now. Is this now a good time? Maybe. But you see, my life force is like non-existent. Okay, get some cleanses. No, don't get cleanses. Get some corrupts, get some fears. I mean, my damage is actually surprisingly high. I was not expecting to deal that much damage, but okay. I mean, my teammates are actually killing someone. Okay, maybe Scourge works. Maybe my teammates are just good. We don't know. Nice. Yeah, the German, you know, if someone writes me in German, for me, it's really hard to answer in English. You know, that if someone whispers me something in German, then my brain is like, you have to answer in German. That might seem logical, that might seem weird, but maybe I can hold some of them here. Condi Soul Beast, come on, guys. Yeah, the passive confusion damage killed me. That's good. Yeah, damage is okay and push much better than Conquest. Yeah, I agree. I think the damage is actually surprisingly high, but I feel like my life force is still a problem, even with the Desiccate. At least we actually got... My team is at 90%, maybe 91. They're pushing. Maybe we win from that. I mean... Yeah, slowly. I mean, they got 2 kills. We have only 1. Nice, we got the rally. We got a kill here. Very good. Oh, we got it. That's not good. In front of the spawn is always dangerous. It's always dangerous. I will get the rest here. And we win, I guess. Nice, we got it. Easy. Scourge is broken, obviously. S tier. Feels like Power Berserker with double swords for the buffed sword F1. Damage is good, but rage region is bad. Yeah, I feel like I really hate it when I can't spam my burst skills on warrior. I feel like if you can't do that, then I feel like then it's not good in competitive modes. That's the problem. You really need to hit your burst skills and actually can continuously use them. That's the big problem. Yeah. So what I wanted to say is, if someone whispers me something in German, it's really hard for my brain to answer in English and on stream. And I really want to say people that, let's say, translate, translators. It's insane. If you hear something in a different language and it has to answer in a different language, that's, for me, I would never be able to do that. So if someone writes me something in English, I always answer in English as well, if it's possible. So that's why it's so weird sometimes when I answer something in German. I'm sorry for that. It's just my brain is not capable of comprehending it so fast. Are you from the Netherlands? No, I'm from Germany. But I hope that my accent is not too bad and you can still understand my English. I'm at level 70 Fractal. How do I get the last 5 so I can CT4 LFG? I mean, my best tip would be, Dino, just join a group, try to find someone without looking at the LFG. So maybe ask in Lion's Arch, maybe ask in our Discord channel for some people that want to carry you through 5 levels, or not carry you, but take you with them in some kind of just higher level Fractal. Like, doesn't have to be 71, can be 100, can be 90, just higher than 70, and do 5 of those and you will have 75 unlocked. So if you ask someone, maybe I can do it sometime, but not today. And we will actually get you there. Don't worry. It's a really stupid system that you can't see the LFG. I should make a video about that and really say this is one of the worst things about Fractals. Yeah. Yes, I will not let me let me be distracted by you. Don't worry. Yeah, yeah. When you do math, do you do it in German and then convert to English for us? It depends, actually. That's the funny thing. So if I talk in English already, then I do all my math in English as well. But if I, so to say, am thinking on myself, on my own, then typically I still count in German. That's the weird part. Even though I talk all day almost in English, it's still I count in German. Really weird, but I guess. Say it. No, no, no. No, I will not say it. So Condi Reaper it is. This is what you also wanted to see. How does Condi Reaper perform? We have 2 supports. It can't be better. They have a lot of DPS that I can target. Willbender is a prime target. Herald is a good target. So yeah, let's see if we can make that work, how it works. Condi Reaper. The Firebrand. Okay. Oh, the Scepter 3, if I hit multiple targets with it. Condi Scourge is so good. I like it so much. It's so fun. Not Condi Scourge, sorry, Condi Reaper. Look at that, 5 people kills. Very nice. No, I will not say those German long words. That's horrible. Please don't scare the English people here. No, blinded. Ooh. We have a DC. No, it's back, okay. Nice, we got a kill. Very good. I have to re-engage just to make sure. Get some nice 4 people here on the thing. That was some nice burst, I have to be honest. Very deluxe. Yeah, I mean, Condi Reaper is still very good pick. I like it a lot. Nice, you count in Polish, write in English, think in Japanese, and dream in 4K. Yeah, very good. I like it. So many things. Which PvP class forgives you the most mistakes? I don't like playing squishy. I feel like you play some kind of Bunker DH is very forgiving, or some kind of Sage Tempest. I feel like Sage Tempest is very forgiving, so to play Dagger Tempest. My teammates are really overcommitting as soon as they got the kills, and then they die after that. So we really have to be careful here in this match. They keep ticking, exactly. They just keep ticking. Yeah, but we will talk about it. We will do one more match after this, and then we go into the tier list. And then I will talk about how easy they are to play as well, and how tanky they are. So maybe that you should stick around for that as well. Or watch the YouTube video that I will make out of that, I guess, at some point. I'm sorry that I'm always looking so, I don't know, concentrated, confused at the same time. I don't know. So I'm really sorry for that. It's just my gaming look, you know. Oh, they got the pull. They got the pull. The jukes. Nice. Let's engage. Let's engage. We got the Skyhammer thing. Oh my gosh, they have so much damage on me. Get the kill, get the kill, get the kill. No, I don't get the rally. Maybe we get the res here, actually. Nice, we get the res. That was some nasty damage. They actually turned it. Crazy. Thanks for the follow, Maddie. Really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. That was crazy. Yeah, exactly. You always, you know, you have if you go for something, then you have to go all in. That's how you do it. I mean, that's wins you push matches apparently. Yeah. They really need to increase respawn time as the match goes on for this game. I think they have to. The respawn timers, I think it's a good idea to make it a little bit more like some punishing. So I don't know. I feel like the snowballing is already quite hard sometimes. I think you have to be careful with the respawns. If you make it too frustrating and less fun to play, then people will not play the game mode. You know, it's like if it's balanced and no one plays it because it's not fun, that's also not good. So you really have to make it find a good middle ground there. But I totally get what you're saying. The respawn timers sometimes, especially if you defend in front of their home spawn, it's like they have like, I don't know, it feels like they are spawning all the time. That was a nice match. All of them die here on the spot. That was a good one. The Skyhammer is really good, I agree. The Skyhammer mechanic is actually insane. I mean, 20 kills, no death. Yeah, I mean, that's what you like to see. I mean, if the game goes on long enough, like 2 minutes left or something, I guess that's a good thing to make it, you know, come to an end at some point and not always go to timer. I think I like that one. If it's, you know, not from the start, it should not be like on start already increased. I agree. Then it's actually, I like it actually. That you just have something that actually makes it a little bit more like the game should end at some point and not always triple in one direction then in the other direction. I agree. That's actually a funny thing. Holy shit, that's all the things. Clicking and clicking all the chests. There we go, I made it. Or like shorten the game time to 7 minutes but have overtime with increased respawn rates. Yeah, I think they could do something like that. Just make the matches. I feel like I would agree. I think the push matches are already sometimes quite, you know, so to say, don't end really in a fast time sometimes. And I feel like making it 7 minutes, maybe 6 minutes would be better. I agree. 10 minutes might be a little bit long. I agree. I noticed it as well. I was looking at the clock and checked. Oh, still 5 minutes to play. That's not what you want. I agree. Okay, so what did you want to play? You wanted to check out some Willbender, I guess. Yeah, that's the classical chest. But the thing is, that was because of the reward track. You know, I completed the reward track push thingy, and then you get 150 of those instant reward track progress things. And if you obviously you get almost 2 reward tracks from this, and then you have to click all of them. Half of them are already in my inventory because you only can get 40 chests. I think they are bouncing. I think if you have 41, they instantly go the 41st. For 41st one goes into the box, into your inventory already. Is Scourge any good in Arena? If so, which weapon and stats? I think Scourge is actually okay in push, but it's not that good in normal competitive play, sadly. So you would play Reaper instead. Condi Reaper is the best option in general, I would say. You play Staff with Scepter Torch. You play Carrion. I have a guide about it as well, so you can check it out on my YouTube channel. Just Condi Reaper, you will find it there. But it's a really classic build. It was the same build like 2 years ago and it's still working very well. Yeah. Yeah. So let's clean the inventory for a bit, I guess. Until we get a match, and then we will go finally do the tier list. There we go. Everything on the bank. I don't know what to do with this one. I think I have all of them. Great, so it is then. Yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, please let me know. I'm always happy to answer them, especially if you're a new player. Don't hesitate. I will answer your question. Yeah, the tier list will be about push. So we want to make a tier list. That's why I played so many different builds right now. I want to make a tier list where I rate how good a specific elite spec, not a specific build, but a specific elite spec is actually performing in push. Yeah, it's obviously not like absolutely try hard with a full pre-made team. It's more like you just want to queue up and you want to actually have fun and push. Yeah, and I think that is actually a decent thing to do while push is out. So that's what we want to do. Yeah, I feel like the meta in push is, I wouldn't say completely different because you have the same balancing, but I would say it's actually surprisingly different. And for example, I played Scourge just now and I feel like it was actually working to some extent. And that's something that you never would hear me say about Conquest. Scourge in Conquest is one of the worst specs to play in general. And I think that it works in push says a lot about the game mode, that it's completely different, even though it has the same balancing. I did check your Chronomancer build, 2-hand sword one. Shield, shatter, but I find it pretty hard to play. Yeah, it's true, it's not that easy. Yeah, it's a build that you have to, if you enjoy the fantasy, you can stick to it and you will learn at some point, but you really have to commit time to it. It's not something that you can say, I play it now and after 10 minutes I actually get it. Yeah. Yeah, this was the character where I put all the stuff that is account bound that I don't really know what to do with. So like my 5k of something like of the Bone Skinner tokens, I don't know what to do, but I keep them. So I put them on one character. It's like my PvP characters are my, I don't know, one of my 60 storage characters. So yes, you're right. It looks really weird. Welcome, Gail. Welcome. Ask every mother in the world? Maybe. So I think it's it's not a Firebrand game, it's a Willbender game. It's a Willbender game. We have 2 supports already. Let's see. Let's see how it works out this time. Last time I had 1 million damage on Willbender. Maybe I should play the longbow version. I will stick to the spear for now because I feel like I will get engaged on and the longbow is a little bit harder to play if you get engaged on. But let's see. We have a support Tempest. We have Hammer Untamed. Okay, interesting. And we have Community Conqueror. That is someone that apparently is quite good at something. That was a nice damage, I would say. Nice, we got one. Nice, we got another one. Oh, come on. I mean, we get a lot of kills here. It's actually... Oh, stability. I knew they will get the rest, but better let them bleed than just killing them randomly and not getting this. Why are they in there, all of them? Oh no, we get one shot when they engage here. I think I have to go on the scrapper here. Oh, it's a lich. Yeah, I can't chase this. It's fine. We chased for long enough. So much damage when they have the debuff. It's really good. Need more stacks? Stacks are good? Yeah, stacks are very good. That's the only thing that keeps me playing the game, you know. I want to get more stacks. Another kill. Nice, we got them. I think now it's over. Yes. I mean, classical Willbender, you know. Sometimes you just win. Easy top damage, top kills. That's what we want. Yeah, sorry, Palencia. sorry. Yeah, I mean, downstat is like, I think downstat is something that makes the game unique, but especially new players can struggle a lot to understand how downstat works. So if you want to see some inventory madness, that's another character. That's my Black Lion character, you know, Snowdrops. I have a lot of just random stuff, like all my tomes, or most of them. Just a lot of the Black Lion salvage kits, you know, and some Black Lion statues and stuff. Yeah, I have some stuff, you know. I'm sorry, you know. I mean, you have some Black Lion statues lying around. It's also some value. Yeah, I see why you wouldn't like that one. I'm sorry. I will leave the character. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. You know, I have a lot of, if you look at I have spirit shards. I have like 5k almost, you know, and then I have all those tomes. So I don't really know what to do with all those tomes. That's the main issue here. So I wanted to bring up the thing. Give me a second. So there we go. So we wanted to make a push tier list. So let's bring that up. You have the generational wealth of the lower 50% of guild was 2 players in that inventory. maybe. I mean, like, I played the game for way too long. That's the main issue here. And I'm a very, you know, I like to play efficiently. So I have a lot of stuff just saved, making the gold in the most efficient way and that kind of stuff. That's why I have so much stuff and a lot of legendaries. It's not like you couldn't do it. It's just you'd have to invest a lot of time and you will do it as well, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I would share the statue edge and I would sell them if I could, but it's account bound. Yeah. So I want to make a push tier list. So let's quickly bring up the. It's about push builds. So what builds are working in push? Push is the new game mode, and we have only one, so to say, card that we have to get to the enemy base, and it's like a single node conquest with some specific debuff mechanic in the middle, so that it makes it so that it's a little bit, you can't bunker it down that much, yeah, to say. So what kind of builds work well here? That's what we rate. I will talk about all the elite specs and all the core classes, and I will also mention which kinds of build I currently have in mind when I talk about them. Because there are obviously multiple builds that you can play. Push is just out for a few days, or not even, it's 24 hours when I record this video or this stream. So I can't tell you what the meta is. It's just my first impression, and the meta is obviously still evolving. Yeah, so that's the first part. And the Skyhammer mechanic, like Snowdrop points out, it's really annoying. You can actually cap that if you don't get CC'd, which is obviously, I don't know, it shouldn't be that. I think it should be like, if you get hit, then it's maybe, I don't know, it feels really weird. The Skyhammer mechanic is a little bit hard to negate. I feel like it's really strong. And if you can get that with your build because you have some stability or some kind of negation to that, then it feels really good if you can get it through. That's really carrying your team. But I will not take that into, let's say, highest account and will say this is the build that wins you every match because you can channel your Skyhammer. Yeah, just want to mention that here. And so what kind of tiers do we have? I would say we leave it as S to D tier. I think for me a D tier build is just something that you wouldn't play. That's just very bad. It's just worse than everything else. S tier build obviously really broken, and something between S and D is just it works to some extent. It's more niche, or it's more team comp dependent. Yeah. So let's start with the core classes, I would say, because those I would say can be quite easily rated. So I personally think, for example, core elementalist is not good. I feel like there is, I mean, maybe you can play it, but I put stuff in D tier, you can still play it. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it's definitely worse than a lot of other stuff. And I think elementalist in particular has a lot of good builds that can be played. So I think don't play a core elementalist. It's just not good. The same goes for core mesmer. I think core mesmer is a troll. It's really bad. It doesn't provide enough. That's just how it is. Maybe you can make an argument for the support element is a little bit better on elementalist or on mesmer in the core kit, but I don't like it. I feel like it's not good. And then core revenant, obviously a joke as well. It's just not good. It's not made for that. And I think you can clearly see that it's just not working in any game mode, and it's not really that good. Or at least not that crazy good. Then we have core ranger, same thing. Core ranger, I would say the pet is useless for the most part. It's not good. I mean, I don't like that I have to say that, but I feel like core ranger is so much overshadowed by the elite specs that it's like, if you pick a core ranger, then you're trolling it already. It's like core ranger in PvP, it's like, why don't you play Untamed? It's just straight up better. But okay, yeah, that's why I put it there. Yes, good point by Snowdrop. You could, of course, make the argument for playing some kind of DPS build with Staff Tempest, or Staff Elementalist rather. But it's like, why do you do that? It's just you will get killed because you don't have a lot of damage or CC or stuff like that, like other Elementalist specs can get. And you don't have any good healing modifiers. It's like, it's incomplete, the kit. That's the problem. Even when Staff is a good weapon for push. So I don't like it. I would put it in D tier and make the argument that it's just overshadowed by its elite specs. What else do we have? Core Guardian. I think Core Guardian is a support that you can play. It's not the best support. I would say for me it's a B tier support. It is working. Maybe you could I think B tier is good enough. High B tier maybe, but it's working. It wants to support its allies. It has some nice stability uptime, but it runs out of cooldowns quite fast, which is a bad thing in push, because in push we have continuous fighting. So you really want to have something that heals, let's say, wouldn't say 24/7, but at least heals very frequently and not just once and then it goes down again after and doesn't have the cooldowns to heal. So that's my take on that. Then we have, surprisingly enough, Core Warrior. I think Core Warrior support is actually surprisingly good. That might be a really hot take here, but I would actually say Core Warrior support, even after the nerfs, you have surprising amount of cleanses, surprising amount of healing output. You don't have any stability access to for your teammates, but you have decent block and CC, and you also have, how is it called, the banner that can kill and resurrect. That's really good. I would say it's A tier. I think Core Warrior is actually A tier. I think it's working. Yeah, might be a surprise to some people, but that's my take here. Yeah. Core Engineer. I think Core Engineer for me is C tier. Maybe low B tier, depends who plays it, because you have decent damage, but it's melee with the spear. It's not what you want to be. A melee DPS in push is very punishing. You can play it correctly and you can get a lot of kills, but you can get punished very hard as well. I think maybe low B tier, maybe C tier, depends a bit how well you play it and which team comp you are in. I think it's actually surprisingly good. Yeah. But I have to be honest, I'm not the best core engineer player, so I can't give you, so to say, a really crazy opinion on that, but I feel like it's actually decent. Yeah. What else do we have? Core Necromancer. I think Core Necromancer can be played actually decently well. It might not be the best core spec, but I feel like Core Necromancer C tier, maybe B tier, depending on the team composition. You're very slow. You don't have the craziest amount of damage output, but if you land your CC chain, it's actually quite annoying. I would say it's C tier. If you can also make some crazy Signet build, then it's maybe also B tier because of all your boon corrupts, but I don't know. It feels interesting, that much for sure. I would say it's in C tier for me. And as always, give me your opinion as well. You know, I don't want to hear some monologue. If you have some kind of opinion on that, any feedback, let me know as well. Then what else do we miss? Just Thief, I think. Core Thief. I don't know. I think Core Thief is overshadowed by its elite specs. I think you can play some Condi nasty Core Thief and just one-shot someone on the side, maybe. But in my opinion, it's not good. I feel like it's not good. I think it's D tier for me. I don't know. There are some people that play that and really want to say it's really good and you should play that, but I feel like it's coping way too much. I don't know. Okay, so let's go to the elite specs. Which class should we start? I guess let's start with Warrior. Warrior is always something that comes quite late, so let's start with Warrior. I think Berserker, you can play a power Berserker and that's about it. You know, Greatsword, maybe some rival, something like that. I think the Spellbreaker is way better than Berserker. So I think Berserker, for me, power Berserker is maybe low B tier, something like that. Yeah, you're right, actually, that the healing on Core Warrior is actually nerfed quite a bit, but I feel like because of the cleanses that you actually can go with a lot of shouts and stuff, and your cleanses for your allies, because you also have some nice staff cleanses as well, I feel like it's actually okay, you know? It feels okay to play. But you're right, it might be depending on the matchup. Sometimes the Condis are too much and you die to it, but I feel like it's okay. Maybe you're right, maybe I have to put it in B tier, but for now I will leave it there. I think Spellbreaker is for me an A tier build as well. I think it's a nice support that you can play. As we mentioned already, the healing got nerfed of Warrior, so it's not as broken anymore. You can play it as some kind of bunker build, but I feel like bunker is quite bad in push because you get punished for standing on the node. You know, it's not like, even though you don't get damage because you're bunkering it, as soon as you get damage, the debuffs are still there from, let's say, minus healing, minus incoming damage or plus incoming damage. So it feels not that great. I feel like it's a very good pick for people that want to have some bunkery warrior playstyle and also have some support element in there with the shouts if you want to play that. But it's not S tier for me. It's an A tier build because it does a very good job at healing or just denying the enemies with CC, maybe some hammer if you really wanted to play that. But for me, it's not an S tier build. It's the best build that we talked about yet, but it's not an S tier build. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I have to demote Core Warrior if I think about it, that the nerfs got actually not that maybe let's put it for now in low B tier, in high B tier, and think about it. What else will we put in B tier? Maybe you have to demote, promote it again to A tier if there are a lot of builds that are just worse in B tier. But maybe you're right. And then with Bladezorn, I mean, what can I say? Bladezorn is like D tier. I mean, it's a decent bunker duelist in Conquest. Maybe there it's okay, playable, but in Push you don't do anything. It feels like it's really bad. I think that's one of the worst elite specs to play in Push. It's just you will get interrupted on your Dragon Trigger a lot of times and you don't really hit anything with it. Or if you do, it doesn't hit that hard anyway, so it's not that good. I really have to say. Okay, let's stick to the heavy armor classes, I would say. We have Vindicator. I think Vindicator for me is actually a decent pick. You have some self-sustain, you can play it with hammer. I think it's decent. I think I would put it in A tier. Maybe low A tier. Maybe it depends a bit who plays it because it's actually quite skillful. You have to play quite well. But I would say it's a decent pick. Yeah. So I think that's where I would leave it for now. What else do we have here? We have Renegade. I think that's a really hard to rate. Where would I put Renegade? You can make it a bunker build. You actually have some surprising amount of damage as well. I think Renegade is, because of the AoE, might be the first S tier or A tier build because it's actually surprisingly good. I don't know. I feel like it's surprisingly good. Maybe we leave it at A tier for now. Maybe, nah, I think it's S tier. It's so good. The spirits are not targetable. That's so annoying. So if you put them on the card, it's like the enemies just have to take the damage. They can't avoid it. It's really bad. It's like it's so annoying. I agree. Yeah, you're right there. I think just because of that, I have to put it in S tier. It got nerfed in terms of the damage reduction it gets from the resolution and from retribution, but in general, it's still very good. Yeah. Yeah. And then we have Herald. I think Herald is actually surprisingly good as well. It got nerfed, the power variant, but you can play Condi or power, and both of them are actually surprisingly good. I would say they are not as good as the Renegade, because the Renegade is absolutely obnoxious, whereas the Herald is more like a fair build, you can counterplay it. And if you have a support, it actually feels really good. I would say it's for me high A tier. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is, you know. If you have a build that is really good because the map is exactly designed for something that hits it all the time on there, because you don't have like a choke, you always stand in there, you can't really avoid it, then that's the build, you know. That's how it goes. If the build is good in something like that, then yeah, we only have this push map, so yes, the build is good in push. That's how it works. I feel like that's what I have to rate right now. Maybe that changes in the future if the map changes, but right now it's like that, and I feel like that's fair. You know, we have other builds there that are really bad because of that. You know, when you want to have some free casting stuff going on. Yeah. So what else do we have? We have Guardian is the last heavy armor class. So that's already also an interesting one. I would say DH for me. Lower A tier, high B tier, something like that. It feels like people that play DH, at least the people that I encountered, were really bad at it. It's like, why do you play that? It's just not good. The traps can be really good if you place them well, because you actually play some traps and leave them there and go out of it, and you still deal damage. So I think that can work, but I feel a lot of people are just playing DH and meant to play Willbender, and I don't know. I feel like for me it's high B tier. So I think the Willbender is for me better. I think Willbender is either S tier or A tier, because it's actually a surprising amount of damage that you still have. And DH is just worse than Willbender. I'm not sure if I would put Willbender in S tier, because as soon as you encounter a lot of Condis, Willbender gets completely wrecked. Completely. It's like insane. You die to it so fast because you have one Condi glance, and that is very crazy good, and that's about it. So I don't know. I feel like it's really like, I try my best to make it work, and it looks quite good if I play it well. But if I face a team comp that is not meant to be played against as a Willbender, then it's like it looks really bad. So that's why I put it in A tier. It's not a build that you can always perform really well on. So high A tier for me it is. This plays very similar to Power Herald, I would say. And then we have Firebrand. That might be a shocker, but I think Firebrand is for me S tier. It is a very good support. You should not actually play it if you never played Firebrand before, because Firebrand is the hardest support by far. It has so many skills. It has a lot of you don't have renewed focus if you want to play with the stability on elite skill. So it's hard to play, but it's really good if you can perform on it. You have a lot of cleanses, you had a lot of stability uptime, and just a lot of healing. You don't have crazy burst healing, but you have a lot of consistent healing, which is something that you want in push. You get your pages back really good, really fast, and that's a build what I would say. This is the top tier build if you play Guardian on a high level. I would say this is the build that you want to play in push. Actually, might be a hot take, but I feel like this is the truth for me. Yeah. I played it a bit, and it was really crazy good. I liked it a lot. Yeah. Would a heal quickness Firebrand be any good? I think you could slot on some quickness on there and it would be decent, but I feel like the more defensive skills you take and the more healing output you have, the better. I think the quickness is often not good enough in a long fight, because it's only a few seconds and the fight takes, let's say, 5 minutes. Then you want more defenses than just having a little bit quickness. But if you're in a pre-made comp, the quickness can be working, yes. Yeah, of course. I would agree with you, Roaming Spirit, that if you play it not very well, then it falls off drastically because you are very squishy. You need really to play correctly, and then falls off in B or C tier because you really want to. It's not a support that I can give everyone and then you will perform decently well on it. No, not at all. It's actually really important that you actually know what you're doing, and only then it's S tier. So I want to stress that here. I'm talking here about a skill level that is actually somewhat high, so that you actually understand your build well enough to actually make it work like that. Yeah. I wouldn't take pistol. I think I would play some kind of defensive, maybe X, maybe mace. That's more important. I think you wouldn't play it as some kind of full damage dealer. I would play it as a healer. Yeah, you can make it work with Sage Amulet because you have some fire burning application there, so that might work. But yeah, my Mace Shield, that would be the one. I think I would play Mace Shield and Staff. That is the one that I played before, and I think it works really well. Yeah, we will get to Reaper in a second, Tobly. Don't worry. If you are not very good at Guardian yet, then Core Guardian is the better support because it's easier to play, that much is for sure. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next classes. So now we will go to the medium armor classes. What do we have about the medium armor classes? I think a lot of them are really hot takes that I have here. So I think Holosmith is, for me, it's very squishy. That's why I would put it in B tier. I think it's too squishy to survive on a lot of situations. You can maybe make some prot Holosmith, but we will see that Scrapper is just better. I think Scrapper for me is A tier, if not S tier, because it's really good. I think you can make some really nasty bunkery Scrapper builds, and Holosmith is just worse than that. I'm not sure, it depends. I haven't played it enough to say if it's S tier or not, but people say here in chat maybe it's S tier, maybe you're right. I will trust you on that. I can't really say if that's the case. I haven't played it enough, like I said. But I feel like the gap between Holosmith and Scrapper is quite big. I think Holosmith is just falling off quite hard if you compare it to Scrapper in push specifically. Yeah. But it's still quite... Scrapper is just... The super speed helps, the Condi cleanse is just boon up Tom, and the tankiness, it's really crazy. You can play with Shortbow as a DPS as well. It's crazy. You have a lot of flexibility there. Yeah. Yeah, if you go for full DPS Scrapper, then it's actually not that good if you face a lot of bunkers, of course. But if you play some kind of bunker Scrapper yourself, then actually it works quite well. Yeah. And then we have Mech. Oh, what can I say about Mech? I see that the meta, at least in the rank that I played, it feels really Condi heavy. And Mech is really annoying because it can spam a lot of Condis as well. So I feel like Mechanist is surprisingly good, but it's also not that crazy good because at the same time it's a pet build, so you can't really influence it that highly. For me, I would actually follow Roaming Spirit there and would say Mech is actually surprisingly in B tier. I think it's actually in the mid of B tier. It works. It is not crazy the carry build, but I think the Condi Mech is surprisingly decent. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Exactly. That build combo. Yeah, exactly. So that's for Engineer. Yeah, let's talk now about Thief. Thief, Thief, it's really hard to judge Thief. Yeah. So how can we make Thief work? Thief works only in the hands of a really good player that knows how to play it, because it's not a build that you want to play as a team fighter. You want to pick up easy targets. So Thief in general, I would put Thief in D tier. If I had to make a single tier for Thief, I would put it in D tier. However, if you have a Thief that knows how to play it, so that you pick off just one player and kill this guy, then go to another one and kill this one, then the skill ceiling that you have with that and the amount of output and influence on the match you have is actually surprisingly high. And that's really hard now to judge it, because if you have a full bunker team that doesn't split up, then the Thief is in C or D tier. But if you have a somewhat weird enemy team that splits up or that wants to have different fights on multiple fronts for whatever reason, then Thief gets actually high value. So maybe I will put it for that reason, Thief and Daredevil and Deadeye, because they fill similar roles, in B tier. Because they can work, but they are not like... If you played S tier and A tier builds, I feel like Thief doesn't do a lot. Yeah. It's really hard. it's really hard to justify putting Thief higher, because it feels like if you don't know what you're doing, it's really bad. And if you face the enemy team comp that is actually not that crazy good, it feels, or not that good for you as a Thief, it feels also not good. I would here with this Deadeye is quite good with the rival because you can snipe people, but you get focused quite easily. And Daredevil is also, the mobility doesn't help you a lot. I don't know, it's just not optimal. Yeah, that's the good point. It's Willbender is just a little bit better. It has more, it feels better. It feels the similar role, maybe the same role, and it's just better at it. Yeah, I would agree. But then we have Spectre. And Spectre is like, it's like if you have crazy skills on Spectre, I would say it's an A tier build, if not S tier build. Yeah. The reason for that is because you can actually support your allies. You can kill your enemy team with Condis. So I would put it in high A tier for that matter, because it's actually really, if you play it well, you carry your teammates by supporting them, by killing the enemy team or annoying them with a lot of Condis. So it's way better than those two, I would say. However, it's also like Firebrand. If you don't play it well, it falls off drastically. Yeah. So I believe it in A tier for now. That might be my opinion. Maybe you have a different one, but I think that's somewhat fair. And then we have Ranger. So Ranger is interesting because Ranger is working, especially Druid, I would say is a very decent pick here, because you have some crazy, I don't know, area denial and healing and stuff. So maybe that's why I would put it in A tier. It's not a crazy build. It's not like it carries the match, but it can be really annoying. You know, it's like a lot of stun and or daze spamming. It's really annoying and immobilize and stuff. I would put it in A tier. Maybe someone has a crazy build and can make it work in S tier. But I feel like for the most part, it's an A tier build for me. Then we have Soul Beast. I think Soul Beast is interesting. You can play a Poison Beast just like in Conquest, and you will be decent. You know, it will work. Yeah, but I feel like it's like not as good in 5 versus 5 because you play like a thief and you have crazy good burst, but as soon as they nerf the B, you will lose your damage again. So I feel like if you're talking about the current state with the B, I think it's low A tier because of the crazy poison burst that you can do on a single player. But in reality, it's more like a B tier build. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Druid is really good because of the map design. It's the same like Scrapper because of the and Renegade because of the map design. You always have enemies around you, and you can easily get the really annoying daze spam. I would say if you face, for example, a Firebrand, then the Druid falls off, and that's why I put it in A tier, because you actually are quite team comp dependent. If the enemy team comp actually has a lot of stability, then you don't do anything. But if they don't, you can be really annoying. I agree. Yeah. Okay, and then last we have Untamed. So Untamed is hard to rate. Untamed feels like a bruiser that can work actually decently well, but I wouldn't put it extremely high because you still rely on your pet to some extent, and it's always in a team fight you're not a good team fighter for that reason, because the pet dies passively. And I don't know. I feel like for me, Untamed is working, but it's not, you know, it's not a build that I would say carries the match. So maybe low A tier with Soul Beast together. Maybe you put them both in B tier. I think it's hard to judge. I think it depends highly on who plays them and against what team comp you play it. So that's why it's in low A tier, I would say. And I agree, of course. If you play with a bad Firebrand, then Firebrand is really bad. I agree, definitely. Yeah. But that's the same for everything here on the high S tier. If you play really bad, then it will not work that well. But of course, you're right. Of course, Druid only works badly against a Firebrand that is actually knowing what to do. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's go to the light armor classes. So, okay, wait. We have Untamed A tier, Soul Beast B tier, because Untamed is constant. Soul Beast have to wait for the burst. I think the reason why I put it here, because currently we have push. And we have it only for 5 more days, 6 more days. And currently we don't have any nerfs to the B. And the B is still broken, and the B can one-shot people because of all the poison and the CC that it has. That's why it's an A tier. But as soon as we get nerfs to it, it will drop off in B tier. But of course, you're correct. The constant damage that Untamed puts out is way better in a long-lasting fight than Soul Beast. Yeah. Yes, I will push more after the list. Don't worry. That's why I put it here for now, but it's definitely low A tier for sure. Okay, now let's talk about the light armor classes. So I personally think Weaver is quite bad. I think Fire Weaver is too melee focused, that's not good enough. And full fresh air Weaver is, I don't know, at this point you should play something else. I feel like it's not good enough, to be honest. You can make it work, but it's not like, I don't know. I think for me it's C tier, maybe low B tier. I think Fresh Air Weaver is just overshadowed by Catalyst. I think if you want to play some DPS build, you would play Catalyst with Spear. That is extremely strong if you can play it, and does a lot of damage from ranged and a lot of AoE damage. Actually, it's really good for that. You have some self-sustain in there. It's a really good build. Maybe that's why I put it in S tier, because it's actually working really well. There are not a lot of players that actually know how to play this build, but if you see someone that plays it, it's crazy. It does a lot of damage and you really can carry them. Yeah. Yeah. Su's playing Weaver, he did nothing compared to Kata the game before. Yeah, exactly. Kata is just the gap between Weaver and Kata is insane. So why would you play some kind of Fresh Air Weaver if you could play Spear Kata? It's actually insane. I think if you play against then you haven't played against a good Catalyst with Spear. I think Catalyst with Spear is really good. Maybe I'm coping too much, maybe it's high A tier, but I feel like it's really close. The range damage is making it really working in push. Yeah. Hammer Catalyst works very well as well. The problem is Hammer Catalyst is melee, and melee is in a lot of situations a little bit more problematic in push, because you have to go on the point at some point and then you get more damage. So especially as an Elementalist, that can hurt a lot, but I feel like if you can make it work, both of them work very well. Yeah. I think I will leave it in S, because I personally really like it. Yeah, I agree. Welcome, Echo Fox. Welcome. Yeah, Spear can be hard to land the skills, but if you do, especially if you hit multiple targets with it, it's actually insane how much damage you put out. And then we have Support Tempest lastly. Of course, Support Tempest S tier. It's really good build. It is, Staff is really strong, and you have a lot of area denial, a lot of reflect uptime, you have decent cleanses and just consistent healing that helps. I would personally say if you have someone that plays Firebrand well, I think they are quite similar. If you have a bad Firebrand, then Staff Tempest is obviously preferred, because Staff Tempests are actually, I would say, easier to play for the most part. And the Glyph can also carry a lot. I think in push, it's the only time where the Earth Glyph is actually happening sometimes. I have a clip where I actually resurrected 3 people with the Earth Glyph. So that works. It can happen. That's obviously not always the case, but I think that's good. So overall, Staff Tempest really good. I would say Staff Tempest for me is one of, it's decently easy to play, but it's still a support. And I think supports are harder to play than other builds in PvP, because you have to look not only at your own health bar, but also at your allies' health bar. So it's harder to play than other classes that are not supportive. But I think for a support, it's actually decent. Yeah, it's decently easy, I mean. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Mesmer. Okay, Mesmer is interesting, because Mesmer, in my opinion, we have Chronomancer, and you can only play Chronomancer support. I think Chronomancer support is falling off a little bit, because you get nerf after nerf after nerf. But my perfect honest opinion here is it's still in S tier. It's still in S tier support because of how much value it provides. It has a lot of boons, decent healing, and decent cleanses, and it also has decent just CC. You know, you can drop the, how's it called? Time Warp for Gravity Well, and you have crazy CC if you land that. I just had a support Chronomancer that had 3 people with the Gravity Well, and we won the match because of that. That can happen. That's really crazy good. And it helps a lot. Yes, Shem, Push is a somewhat new game mode that we have for the next few days in a beta test, and it's like a capture the flag game mode, yeah, in PvP for Guild Wars 2. Okay, and then we have Mirage. I think Mirage is too squishy to actually work in a lot of situations. It has a lot of damage, and it has a lot of AoE damage, but it's too squishy in a 5 versus 5 to actually win a lot of the time, especially when we have a lot of Condis, which is the enemy of Mirage. So I personally think if you play it very well, you can make an argument for putting in an A tier. But I personally think it's yeah, let's put it in low A tier because we put Firebrand in S tier because you have to play it well, and the same goes for Mirage. But I feel like Mirage is too squishy. You can play some greatsword Mirage and you stand at range, but you're still quite squishy. And you will, if someone jumps on you, you might die very, very fast. So I feel like A tier, low A tier is okay. Yeah. And then we have Virtuoso. That is really hard to rate. I think if you play it well, you can make it work decently well. But if you just have a, let's say, bunkery team against you, then your damage doesn't do anything. It's like you are a burst character. You really want to burst. And if the enemy team just doesn't let you do that, you are completely useless. So it's really team comp dependent how it works. So I personally would say for most people, it's an A tier. So you can clearly see Virtuoso, Soul Beast, Mirage, those I would say are in A tier, but I would say Spectre, maybe even Druid and Willbender, those are for me definitely in a higher part of A tier than those three. Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like this is not an issue with the general push game mode. It's more an issue with those classes that they don't really want to fight in a long fight because they just run out of usefulness, you know. They are really burst favored. They are typical roamer classes. Maybe Soul Beast can be played as a duelist, which is obviously also not the case in push. So that's why they are in lower A tier. But they're definitely better than, in my opinion, B tier builds. Or at least they are in high B tier if that's the case. And then we have lastly Necromancer. That's also interesting. I think Harbinger is actually quite squishy, and that brings it down in terms of Conquest. So Conquest and push comparison, I think Harbinger is actually worse in push. The power build is too squishy for the most part. You have some nice healing, but if you get CC'd, you get one shot very easily. So I personally think for me, it's the same as Mirage. I think those two are very similar. Yeah. And you can play some really weird Harbinger cooks, but I feel like it's still worse than Reaper for sure. And it maybe in some situations even Scourge is better than a Harp. It might be crazy to say, but I think a decent Scourge is for me a high B tier build because it actually works surprisingly well. Or it's like Mechanist. It works surprisingly well in push in comparison to Conquest. In Conquest, those two are D tier for sure. But in push, they are actually working decently well. So Scourge has a lot of area denial, a lot of corrupts, and can give some support to your allies. So it's overall decent, yeah. But it depends. Maybe sometimes the Harp is better, sometimes the Scourge is better. It depends a bit on the team composition. The constant corrupts can really be annoying. Yeah, that I had it before. I played a Firebrand. The enemy team had a Scourge. Getting a res against the Scourge is really, really tough. It's really tough. And lastly, we have Reaper. I personally think Condi Reaper is a really good pick. You have so much Condis and consistent damage. I think for me it's an S tier build. I think it's an S tier build because the Reaper has constant damage output, a lot of chill, which is obviously really good if you get AoE chill. You have a lot of AoE skills, and that makes it really good. For me, the Condi Reaper is probably the best Condi DPS that you can play right now, because the chill is, you really have to think about it. The chill is not only giving you damage, but you apply the chill to, let's say, 3 to 5 targets very consistently with your shouts. And those chills are not only decreasing the amount of damage the enemy team puts out, because the cooldowns of their offensive skills are longer with chill. So that's the first part, but it's also that defensive cooldowns are longer. So that means you kill them more likely. So it's like an offensive support in that case. You not only do damage, but you also debuff the enemies in a way that actually makes your team deal more damage as well. It's really crazy how good that works in push. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Reaper is really good in the current push format. I think really, I would say it's a really good pick in push right now. It feels so impactful if you can carry against the bunker comp, because you corrupt constantly their boons. You have a lot of damage output with it. I feel like it's for me, it's an S tier build. Maybe you have a different opinion then, let me know. But I personally think that's a good one. Yeah, it's a good build. I think I will leave this tier list for like that. Maybe you have some comments on that and I make some changes, adjustments to it. But that's probably my tier list, yeah. What's the best beginner DPS class? You mean for PvE or for competitive modes? Liberator, that's a good question. Yeah, the mech in B tier, I'm not happy to put it here, but I feel like it's actually decent. You couldn't make an argument that it's actually push is made for mech. I mean, looks like it also. The push mode will last 5 more days, so it will leave on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday at I think 6 p.m. Yeah, that's when it's supposed to leave. Yeah, 6 p.m. my time. I don't know. Yeah. So if you're talking about the best DPS class for PvE, PvE actually I'm casual player, but maybe when I learn something I changed this for PvP. So I personally think for PvE a very beginner friendly class is typically, I would say, Reaper. Reaper is a very beginner friendly class. There are condi builds, there are power builds. I have a low intensity build on my YouTube channel. Just check it out. In the description of this stream, you have a spreadsheet. You can just go there and you see all the builds that I have. And there is also a low intensity Reaper build, and it's really, really good. It's a simplified, so to say, meta build, and it's very, very good. It does a lot of damage, very easy to play and very tanky. Just perfect. A lot of CC. Okay, so let's go do some more pushing. Yeah, I agree. Necromancer is a really good class to start out in Guild Wars 2 in general, because it actually has a lot of baked-in synergy, and it has baked-in tankiness and decent damage. And if you go and get Reaper at the beginning and you start with Reaper, you can play Power Reaper, Condi Reaper, all of that, and it's actually really surprisingly good. Who is this? Is this not a Millennia? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me remove that. There we go. By the way, thank you all for the follow during the tier list. I didn't mention it, but thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And as always, if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. I'm always happy to answer that, especially if you're a new player. I always want to help new players the most. And if you don't know already, I not only have a Twitch channel where I stream, but I also stream on YouTube and make YouTube content. So if you haven't checked it out already, we have some nice guides and debates on my YouTube content, and I would say daily content on my YouTube channel as well. Yeah. Yeah, glad you think so, Combo. I mean, I try my best to not only help new players, but also have some fun, entertaining gameplay for veterans. So yeah, I try my best to not only seem nice, but also be a pillar of the community, so to say, because I feel like Guild Wars 2 is not like, the community at least is not very active on the social media, and I feel like we need more, yeah, just more promotion for the game. So let's see what we can do this time and push. I mean, slowly we get longer push times, yeah. So the queue times are longer. I actually had a lot of wins here. Yeah, I think it will now get harder. We actually have quite nice things. Quite nice ratings. So might be harder to win now. Every time I lose, I have to do push-ups. Yeah, I guess I could do that, but you wouldn't see that, so you wouldn't believe me anyway, you know. So I would do it on the floor, and you wouldn't see it with my camera settings, and you would always say, you didn't do it, you know. So even if I did it, you wouldn't believe me. So maybe that's not the thing. Nice. If the queue is too long, you should do a 99 cm training for Pox. Yeah, then the queue for everything in PvP will be short compared to that, I would say. 99 cm training, I think I will lose my mind if I would do that. At least if I wouldn't stream, you know. If I would stream, I would probably be relaxed and could talk to you, but if I would do it just off stream, I would probably completely collapse. Pull-ups when? Yeah, I mean, I don't care actually about the pull-ups. It's just, you wouldn't see it. So I feel like it's really, it feels bad, you know. I like to do pull-ups anyway, so it's not something that I actually wouldn't do. I would probably crone. No, actually, I don't know. I actually do push-ups quite frequently. It's in my training routine, so it's not something that I would actually mind that much. 99 is the silent surf one. So it's with the single boss at the end where you stand at the platform with the eye happening. And yeah, it's the somewhat greenish. Yeah, it's really annoying. Yeah, the green hole, exactly. It feels too long. The boss is too tanky, and then typically you would die in a training at the end of the run, so at like 10-20% or something of the boss, and then you have to redo the whole thing. It's really bad. Yeah. Yeah, the green hole. Yeah, exactly. Favorite genre of I don't listen. I wouldn't say I have a favorite one. I listen to a lot of modern music. You know, I don't like classic or jazz. That's not my thing. I am more for modern music, like, I don't know, I'm just mainstream music for the most part. Rock, pop, something like that. Nothing special, Snowdrop. Okay, so what do we have here? I don't know, we have no support. Maybe that's support here? Oh, it's with the hammer. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, let's play Reaper. Just stick to it. I don't know if that's a good one because they might have two supports. That's a little bit annoying then, but let's try. Got it. Classic chess it is. Okay. Shouldn't have mentioned it. Yes. Yeah, Linkin Park Numb. Yeah, that's what I should play all the time in the background when I play Push. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I actually, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, Gail, that I sometimes go outside. It's actually true. I actually don't fear the sun. Yeah. Yeah, the true shot is somewhat annoying because the cooldown is actually quite short in PvP now. So it's actually really annoying that you have to dodge that all the time because it can hit for 17k. Yeah. Okay, so let's see how this goes. I will concentrate and hopefully make not a crazy weird face for you, Filthy. Okay, it's a support guardian. That much is pretty likely, I would say. Nice. I got it on all people. Very good. That was a very aggressive thing, but I instantly got all their cleanses. That's nice. Okay, we get the kill here. Don't get... Oh my god, we got the rally and now we are dead. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's insane. I tried my best. I mean, this guy rallied it. I don't know. It was not... Oh. I'm not a vampire. Indeed, I'm not. Nice, I hit 4 people again. They are all on the push node. Oh, so clean. And now they are all dead. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good. Holy shit. Why are they standing all on the push node? You know, that's why you don't do it. Here, look at this. This just 10 stacks of those things. They are instantly dead. Oh, it's insane. Feels very good if people do that. It feels really nice if you win then. Okay, now they come back. We have to be a bit careful. Don't push into them. Just delay them a bit. Yeah, this build is really good. You know, I mean, if you hit this skill, you convert 2 boons into conditions. You hit a lot of damage. You get a lot of life force from it. It's really good. And push is made for this skill, you know. Get some corrupts going. Always go on the Tempest here. Tempest is dead. We have to be careful. Where's the Guardian? For the rest. Nice. We got the corrupt into the kill. That's good. That's very smooth. Got the kills here. We have to be careful. The Revenant has a lot of damage potential. Nice. We got them and feared them off point. Very good. I'm currently using the classical Condi Reaper build. So I have a guide on my YouTube channel about that. Just check my spreadsheet, link is in the description of the YouTube stream. And if you want to see my spreadsheet on Twitch, you can just type !builds. I have a spreadsheet about all my build guides on my YouTube channel. You can just check it out. This was such an overcommit. If we now lose because of that, or at least this was a hard overcommit. That's not what we want to see here. Firebrand, Guardian rather. Nice, we got 4 people with the stun. Nice, nice, nice. Force the dodge, get the Condi corrupt, and there we go. Another kill. Clean. Yeah, I mean, I think it's not for everyone. I can see that, Roaming Spirit, why you wouldn't like it. I personally like it a lot, actually, because I can try out different builds and have a lot of fun with it. Because currently, I don't know, I win a lot of matches against people that are that I shouldn't win. I don't know, but I do. It sounds good. Now he sounds like sport commentator. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. From the angry German to the sports commentator. Yeah, that's how far we go. Actually think push will do wonders for the PvP scene when it comes out? Maybe. I hope it does. I don't want to do predictions for that, but I hope it does. Yeah, gold 3 we are. Actually not that bad. 8-2. So we won 8 matches, lost 2. Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I'm always top damage. It doesn't matter what I play. Only if I play support, I'm not top damage. I don't know what my teammates are actually doing, but I guess that's how it goes. I don't think push will revive the mode. I think there are arguments for both sides. I can't predict the future. I think I would hope that it will save Guild Wars 2 PvP scene, but I personally I think it's not that likely. I feel like PvP, a lot of people play PvP right now and have fun, but I think that you actually get a consistent, crazy high scene again. I think it's very unlikely. I hope it does, but I feel like I'm too pessimistic for that actually. They should do a 1-on-1 season, honestly. Maybe 1-on-1 would actually be interesting, but I feel like then you would just have a lot of builds that don't kill each other, and that feels really bad. I think I really like to have something that actually leads to some conclusion at some point. But maybe you're right, maybe 1-on-1 would be a nice off-season as well. I hate push because of bunker Condi meta. Yeah, I can feel that, yeah. It will increase players for the short term, but it will go back to normal as always. Yeah, I guess that's a very realistic prediction, I agree. So what do we have now? We don't have any support again. Oh, they have a day spamming druid. That's a little bit annoying, but okay. I think I'll try it again. Have to see how it fares after the newness wears off. Exactly. We currently have only the beta tests and they are quite alive, of course, but as soon as it comes out forever, then it might be the first 1 or 2 weeks are actually not that, you know, seem like they are alive, and after that it drops off hard. So that could be the case, yeah. I would agree, yeah. Until ANET fixes the core issues of PvP, nothing will change. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I made a recent video about it and I talked about it and I agree. I think they need to really fix the core problems that PvP has. Yeah, for sure. My Condi Harp on Tyrant does have 2.2k Condi damage. I don't do any damage. Yeah, I mean, Condi Harp is sadly not that good. That's the problem. Condi Harp is really like... Why don't you play Condi Reaper? You know, the AoE is worse and you have projectiles. I feel like, what are the core problems? I think for me, the biggest problem is that we just don't have enough players. You know, the matchmaking is quite bad. So you have 10 people only queuing at the same time. So it doesn't matter which kind of rating they are just getting in the same match. That leads to matches of a platinum player queuing against the silver player. And the silver player will not have fun against that. And they will just say, I don't want to PvP anymore, and they will quit. And that's not good, because then you lose players that you might have otherwise gotten, you know? So that's the problem here. And of course, I feel like the rewards are a little bit outdated, and it feels just like that they don't care about the balancing too much. The balancing in PvP is like, yes, they make some hotfixes, but the changes they do are just very small. Nice, we got a kill. Now we go for the CC. No, they got the rally. I mean, they're all lying on the node, so that's good, I guess. Nice, we got 4 people with the CC. Nice, got everything here. If they go for the rest, they actually are dead, I guess. Nice, we got them. You just have to be careful that we actually get the card not pushed in our direction here. Yeah, I think the toxicity is also not helping, like win trading, like just general, that the tryhard scene is like not existent. That's also a problem. I think there are so many problems with PvP that they need to fix before it can go back up. Yeah, that's a big problem. Yeah. Yeah, the balancing is a big problem. I feel like it's just more shakeups in the meta. That would be really important. Holy shit, he almost one-shotted the druid. The CC chain is a little bit nasty. This guy was CC'd for 4 seconds or 5 seconds. Yeah, I mean, you should play PvP with the mindset about just improving at the game, getting better at it, have fun. You should not play for rating. I feel like as soon as you play for rating, you get frustrated and you will just not enjoy the game mode anymore. That's my take on that. Yeah, exactly. The problem is that just a lot of players are very toxic, especially the, so to say, people that really try hard PvP. And some people even say they don't want new people in PvP, even though that's absolutely stupid. You always want more people to actually get a better matchmaking. Okay, nice. We got 4 people or something to interrupt here. I think we are overcommitting a bit. Get some corrupts here, maybe. Nice. Get some fears. Get some C. Gotta play for fun. I burned myself out for playing for it. Exactly. You will go mad and just stop playing. You have to play for fun. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing PvP for fun. If I don't have fun anymore, I stop playing. And that's what you really have to do. Nice, we got the kill. Now we got poison on there. To not get the rally here. Nice, we dodged this. And we have to be a bit careful here. Get some CC maybe. The hammer is a little bit annoying, I have to be honest. I think this one is one of the most balanced metas we have so far. I think the problem is only Condi Soul Beast. Other than that, I would agree it's actually very balanced. But the problem is more that I feel like, for example, Engineer was not in the light in a long time in the meta. And I feel like they should just make more balance changes in that regard and say, okay, we want to get more new balances things going. I can't rest you, guy. I can't. Oh my god, the hammer. So just more balances, more shakeups, more reworks in PvP. That would be more interesting. That's what I advocate for. Yeah. They also need to make an option to not have a thief in your game because it's boring. Playing versus it and boring to lose because of having one. Yeah, I think thief is really in a weird spot. I agree. Yeah, it's also the AFKing is a bit. I think they should just be more aggressive with the banning, or at least the PvP banning, that people are not allowed to AFK all the time. I agree. So we are now running one after the other in, that's a problem. I don't know. I can't do this actually. I think we might lose from this now. Ooh, I don't know. There are 3 people here, but my team is also dead. They are too bunkery. My team is dying on node. Maybe they are now committing too hard on the node. Maybe we can get the kill here. That was a nice 3 skill. That was good. Very good. We can get the CC here. No. Got CC'd before. Get corrupt. Nice. CC. Oh my gosh. Almost got the heal through. Yeah, maybe my team get... No, they die off point here as well. Maybe we can get the rally here, but I think I'm... Yeah. Sad. Yeah, this is not winnable, I guess. I mean, we got the Skyhammer. Maybe. No, I can't. Sad. Yeah, maybe Signet of Undeath in PvP is not very good because you lose half of your health, and that's obviously very bad in pressured situations. I mean, if you can hold 7 minutes only. Let's see. Maybe we can get the... No, we can't get the rest here. Maybe get the kill here on the warrior, actually. The druid is really... This is not a good druid, and we still lose to it. That's the sad part. Oh my god. The renegade. No, Bernard as well. My teammates are just writing in chat and complaining, you know, even though they die all the time. Oh my god, they have so much stability as well. It feels really bad. Yeah, push is not for everyone. The visual clutter is definitely a problem here, I agree. My whole team is dead. I can't defend that anyway. Now they win. Maybe we can get the rally or the rest here, but I feel like no. Sad. Yeah. I got 3 back-to-back thieves now in push, and enemy just running 2-3 supports with 2 DPS. Yeah, that sounds horrible. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, the map is claustrophobic. I actually heard a lot of people tell me exactly like that criticism that we had. The map is too small in what you have, and it feels like a lot of builds are really good because of that, just for that single reason. Which is, I know that's how it goes, I guess. Oh my god, stuck in the wall. Yeah, top damage again, but oh my god, I mean, minus 34. I mean, that's full pre-made team. That's insane. I lose minus 34 against a full pre-made team. What? Yeah. They need to design it to like 1 bottleneck spot instead of 4. Yeah, I feel like it's very, you know, like it feels like you are in a tunnel all the time. Yeah. Any way to reduce the visuals more? I mean, the only thing to reduce visuals in Guild Wars 2 is like you go to the graphic options and you set the character model limit to your pleasing, and the effect LOD you can switch it on so that you don't see all the particle effects anymore. But that is in PvP a little bit difficult because you want to see all the skills of the enemy. If you don't see all the skills of the enemy, yes, there is less visual clutter, but you might not be able to see the very important ones that you need to dodge. So yeah, it's not perfect. There are options in both directions that, I don't know. Are those missing textures on the map intentional? Yes. So they are current, it's a work in progress map, and it gets better with each update. They are iterating on it. Yeah. Good old PvP plus 15 win, lose minus 30 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, typically I only get plus 8 or something and lose minus 30. It's really bad. But this was obviously, I played against a pre-made team that was clearly better than my team, and I still lost minus 34. That's insane. But I mean, I don't care about rating. I'm just saying that it's a little bit skewed. So what do we have here now? We don't have any damage. Maybe I have to go for Willbender. They could maybe remove 2 of the buildings to make it more open. Yeah, maybe. I feel like it feels like a city. I think that's actually, I think the design intention is quite nice. But I feel like it's like making removing maybe this building and having, so to say, always like one of the corners, this corner being here, this one is here, but this one is gone and this one gone, maybe, yeah. But just make it maybe a little bit more open, making a bit more space so that this is not always like only choke points, because it feels like the only open space that you have is like in the middle, and that's about it, because even here you have some kind of choke points with this and this card. I don't know, I feel like it's not, it has a lot of chokes, and that's favoring a lot of specs that are typically not used in PvP, and I feel like that's somewhat intentional, but at the other side I feel like it's also making the game mode a little bit boring, because you always have this kind of fight that you can't free cast. So for example, a long range rival Deadeye or Mirage or something like that with Greatsword feels way worse because you have no space to cast. Yeah. Do Astral claim that I have stored reset when no, it doesn't. So it will be saved. So the best way to actually go about it, and you go to the maximum and just go, when the reset happens, you can buy a lot of stuff then, and you can get this stuff already as well, like the new Wizards World coins. So it's actually the best way so to do so, just save them, but you can also just use them, because everything, you will get everything if at some point. It's not like there is a limited amount of time that you can get the stuff going. Okay, so this is, what is this? A necromancer with a sword. It's a power necromancer, I guess. Yeah, it's power. Okay, that's good. That's good to know, because power reapers are very easy to kill. They just have decent damage, but they are very easy to kill. No, that was annoying. It's a CC Spellbreaker. That's annoying. I don't like to fight against that as a necromancer, I have to be honest. Oh my god, the pull obviously hit exactly at the moment where I was... Oh, I'm not sure if I can win this. Nice, we got the... This guy is actually killing me. This is really the single counter to this build is a lot of CC. I can't actually deal with that. Gosh. Look at this. I can't play the game. I can't. It's impossible. That's so sad if you get just countered by the enemy team. The map looks like it was made when they designed Zeitung. I think they just made it after that and said that that's the way to go about it. Maybe I can get the safe res. I'm not sure if that's the smarter move than just killing myself and going back in, but I guess we can try. Would you suggest playing Thief as Spectre and Deadeye for Raids and Fractals? I would rather go for Spectre most of the time and just play Deadeye in some really... I think Spectre is the better choice for the most part. I mean, Spectre is good in Condi fights, in Fractals, CMs like that. But just get some cleave going, please. We have to win this, guys. Don't want to lose another 30. Focus this guy. It's instantly dead when we focused him. The CC warrior actually carrying the match. It's actually crazy. Now we lose. It's actually crazy. I can't do anything here. It's over. Sad. Really sad. Actually, the CC warrior killed me there. Yeah. Is it already time to rework the tier list? I think it's just a hard counter to my build. That's the problem. If I played Willbender here, I wouldn't have that much of an issue. It's a hard counter to my build. That's the problem. But I feel like if people wouldn't focus or we had some kind of support that gave me stability, then it wouldn't be that much of an issue. But I didn't. You know, I didn't get any support here. My supporting teammates were not there or not existing. Nice. Maybe it's a comeback. It's not over before it's over, you know. My teammates just die randomly on point. It's actually crazy. Maybe we can get the kill now on the Elementalist. Oh my god, Renegade is so annoying. There comes another one. Another player. Maybe I can get something going here. We get 2 kills from that, maybe. The Spellbreaker is really annoying. I mean, I put Spellbreaker in 8 here, so I think it's a fair assessment still. You just have to be careful with pushing now. When we stagger the kills, we actually will be fine, I guess. Nice, we get the CC chain here. Nice. If we can force a kill here or resurrection already and stuff, then we will be fine. We should be careful here because they are all on respawn. Yeah, that's what I feared. Oh my god, I'm so dead. The team is not doing anything to support me. Help. At least they didn't follow up, because otherwise I would have been instantly dead. Oh my god. Yeah, this is not winnable. Oh, do we get Cliff? No. Sad. It's over. 1.7 damage. What? Million damage? What? That's insane. How long was the match? It's crazy. I mean, 5 bunker. Okay, I guess that explains it. Yeah. Whoa. I mean, this is intense. I died twice. I really want to see how many times my teammates died, because I feel like they died way more often. Maybe I have to play some Firebrand after that. Oh my god, the condis keep ticking. They keep ticking. Ah. Nice, we got at least something here from the damage, but my teammates are just dying. Why are they randomly dying to the warrior in a 1v3? It feels so bad. This is over. It's just a support diff. Sad. We don't have a support. Our Elementalist doesn't play support. They play some other stuff. Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean 50% team damage. And my team died like, I don't know. Oh, that feels so bad. Sad. How long are you streaming? I will stream one more match and then we'll stop. So if you need to go and walk your dog, then we will probably see each other next stream. So see you around Echo Fox then. So let's see, maybe we play some more Firebrand. Thanks Neto, by the way, for the follow. Really appreciate it. So you could see sometimes this build is not, it's not without any weaknesses, you know, it's really good. It has a lot of corrupt, a lot of damage, but it feels like if you get countered by your teammates are not helping you at all survive, then you will die and you will lose. Was the whole match timer with 1.7 million? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, I had a match now, 8 minutes left on the clock, 500k damage. Yeah, I guess, if not all of them. What are they? Is this support? If this is a DPS player, yeah, that's DPS, I guess. Then I will play Firebrand. It's actually, I think Firebrand is decent here. And now I easy won because enemy had a thief. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I actually encountered one really good Spectre, and this guy was really good because it killed one person all the time, and that was exactly what we needed. But not all the time is the case, sadly. So Firebrand here, let's see, we have 2 supports apparently versus 2 supports. No, this is Dagger. Oh my god, what is this? Cook Dagger with Conjured Earth Shield. Okay, let's see if that works. Let's see. I have decent support and they have no damage, so I feel like this is a free win if I play it correctly. Because they have no damage. They have a thief, they have a Wirt, and they have 2 supports and probably a CC warrior or something. So should be free if we can support our allies here. Yeah. Okay, so I don't have a revive here because I really want to go for the Merciful Intervention for some nice teleport action. And the stability is really good on Mantra here. Okay, so let's try and concentrate here. Sorry for my concentrated face again, but sometimes you have to concentrate to win. Get some CC maybe. Some healing. Nice, was good healing. Nice, we bannered them. No, we don't have a banner, so the enemy team bannered, but it was too late. That's what happened. We have to be careful with the card here, I have to be honest. I don't want to stand on the card, I have some healing here. Maybe get some CC here. We have a lot of boons. If you look at my boon bar, it's actually crazy how many boons we all the time have because of all my support players here. There are players down. They got the cliff, that's okay. We get the counter kill here, I guess. Yeah, Firebrand is quite good. My team is actually also doing a quite good job, I have to be honest. Just have to be a bit careful that my team doesn't split too much. Yeah, because that's what I feared here. I can't get to you in time, yeah. This is overcommitting way too much in front of the enemy spawn. I can't get there. I try my best here, but I feel like it's really depending on where my teammates position. I can't help them if they position too aggressively. I try my best. I think it works out quite well for now, but as soon as we start snowballing, because our teammates are dying, I can't really help them. That's the problem. This guy has to leave the point for a bit. Giving stability now. Okay, they ban out this time. Giving stability again. I have so much stability access in this build, it's actually insane. Block please, thanks. Give some might. I'm standing quite long there, I have to leave actually. Just noticed. My teammate is resting in front of their spawn and now will get the... That's the bad part, that's why you shouldn't rest. And in push, I think the respawn timers are so short that you should actually never resurrect yourself, typically. Go for some projectile denial. I think we actually win this match, I'm pretty sure. Nice, we got the burst. And we will go for some CC in a second. No, they have stability. I have to leave the point, please let me leave. Thanks. Some cleanses going. I really want to see more top stats. That would be so interesting to see how much cleanses I did, how much condis I played, and how much power damage I did. And that would be really interesting. I'd love to see that. I mean, if we hold it here, we will win the match, but we still have 11 minutes, so yeah. You have a lot of condis, I have to be careful. But we got a Skyhammer. Holy shit, all of them are dead now. Nice, very good. I think that's the match winner. Nice, good job. Yeah, the enemy team had a thief and now we win. I really see the pattern. I see the pattern, Roaming Spirit, for sure. Whoa, this guy got bursted. Wow, one shot in like half a second or something, not even. Easy. Yeah, 50% team heal with a Tempest support. yeah, I think that's also it for today's stream. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun. I had a blast. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out my YouTube channel and have a lot of fun with Push, I hope. And yeah, I hope we see each other. Have a nice rest of the day, rest of the week, and we will see each other hopefully on Saturday. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for all the subs and follows, and I hope to see you around. Thanks a lot. Good night.